when everyone's list exhausts and it inevitably just ends up with Joey, your turn, and then Joey, your turn, and Joey, your turn. I will rapid fire that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully we won't be on this too long. Just make sure the audio is balanced.
I've got all my appliances muted, so no copywriting will be happening. Everything's muted.
She's watching Netflix, but she's watching it through her headphones, so it's fine.
Okay.
Hold on. Hi. Test.
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 Bananas.
There's always
Test
one.
fail.
Shit.
Fuck
Oh.
test, Maddie. You're no longer C-Spray moderator material.
Bitch!
You're having your rank
Bitch,
removed.
fight me IRL.
Can I just
Fight me
point out
IRL?
that moderator is basically given out to anyone who talks for more than 2 months?
I mean,
It's
more or
spam
less.
At the moment.
That said, we should probably make Nova one soon enough.
I don't know. I think we have enough mods right now.
Okay.
No, I don't want to get sick.
When did we make Brendan a mod?
Yes, my disease has transferred
A
from
while ago.
all the way over to Australia. Go.
Can someone check the stream to make sure that our audio is balanced?
If you're
'Cause,
watching
Yeah, I'll
this, you have a
check.
mental breakdown while I'm in the middle of this.
I'll
It's
check.
gonna be an even bigger problem than you being grumpy.
Hold on.
I kind of wonder, like, if I'm supposed to go in the world in the correct disorder.
No, I usually go in the battle order.
Yeah, I just take the steady. I just go from like the easiest on. Usually, because otherwise, it usually it's accurate enough to say like, don't do that yet. That said, I still can't believe we did Pranks Terror as early with Sora.
That got kind of messy.
Yeah, it's only because they messed up. It's only because story events were.
Yeah, I don't know why they messed up so bad.
So, are we ready to start now?
I'm just waiting on the audio.
Hub says Jason's a little quiet.
Jason, is it
Huh?
just Jason? Oh, up Jason then.
Okay.
Is that it, or is everyone else fine?
I don't know how I'm coming in. Let me check.
I mean, usually how it works is everything's fine for the person who's streaming, but then you have to have a second opinion.
Harry, turn me up a little bit. Turn me up a little bit.
Okay.
Harry, who was the guy who voiced Anson the Wise in 2 again?
It was
Christopher Lee? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Since he's passed, is clearly not him.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Alright, try talking now.
It sounds like Yen Sid again.
Pretty much.
Try talking? Okay, I have something really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's fine. Let me hear.
How about Joey and Maddie?
Yeah, it's good. It's good now. It's good now.
Cool.
Are the others fine, Maddie and Joey?
Turn them up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Test, test, one, two, one,
clear.
two,
You
one,
can
two,
hear them,
one,
but they're
two, one,
quieter
two.
compared to everyone else.
Yeah. Alright, you two talk.
Test, test, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Okay, that's enough.
Pre-4.
Good.
Buns.
If anyone says 5.
5.
Buns, as in hot dog buns.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I thought you were saying arse in buns.
Alright, cool. Oh, man.
Oh my god, this animation is so smooth, especially on the faces.
Yeah, right.
Oh shit. Oh my god, I wish we could talk about this.
Alright, do people have like a list or like a mental image?
I have my list.
Okay,
I'm just gonna kind of like YOLO it.
fair enough, I guess. Alright,
I got a mental list, but I'm also gonna wing it. I'm good at that.
this is the first time I'm doing anything like this, so let's just hope it goes well. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to
The
A-
long-awaited.
and this is technically the Ramble Express, but I'm just calling it that out of obligation at this point. It's more or less just a discussion video about the games we played last year, and
Well, we decided like 2 or 3 years ago that the Ramble Express would be cut down to a if we have something to talk about sort of role.
yeah, and
We're supposed to do one after every E3, but we didn't last year.
No,
yeah.
guys, you relaunched the Ramble Express. We're doing a new #1.
Oh god, no.
Yeah, but like
We're not redoing the Ramble Express. We
No,
don't have
it's
enough to talk
relaunch.
about.
No, it's relaunch. Everything else happened before. It's just the new numbering.
yeah, but like
But relaunch.
we're not like like making the Ramble Express like a major thing
God,
again.
Donald, no.
It's more or less like when we have something to talk about, we'll just do the podcast, and it would make things very messy if I made like a separate discussion videos
Honestly, let me
playlist.
do it. I don't
So
want you hurting me.
Oh, I know what's going.
yeah, but yeah, we're gonna go into like a round table sort of thing, just kind of loop around in the Discord call with the games we've played. So I'll start with something simple. Sonic Mania Plus happened last year, and it's I mean,
Oh yeah, get the update out of the way first.
yeah, we
That's
might as-
technically an update, not a release.
Right.
yeah. They added, huh?
Was it like $2, $5? I forgot.
It wasn't that
It was
much.
it was $5 on digital.
Yeah. And yeah, there's not much to say about Sonic Mania itself, because like we all played that in like 2016, and it's a nice little
2017.
2017,
Yeah.
right? And it's a nice little bonus. Like it introduces Encore mode and Rare and Mighty, which are pretty nice additions. And if you enjoyed the game before, I think it's worth that one extra playthrough at least, I think.
I don't think Encore mode is anything too special aside from seeing the new palettes for each stage and the whole switching characters thing. The main
Right.
thing that Mania Plus adds is Mighty and Ray.
Yeah.
Right. You ever been a kind of like hit or miss about the Encore mode is how they switched around the placement of the special rings?
Yeah,
Some of those fucked me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even the difficulty is what I'm talking about. It's just more so like finding them.
Yeah, I had
But
to.
don't get me wrong, those special stages were hard.
Yeah, I had to
Like,
grind out Flying
because
Battery.
I'm mentally trained to go after the ones I know and where they were in the normal mode.
I had to.
And you got fucked for it.
Encore mode itself isn't that different. They just like changed. It was like a palette swap more or less, and some levels fare better than others, I think. But besides that, it's not really that much different. I do kind of like the new life system, and I feel like in a Mania 2, I wouldn't mind if they just made that the regular life system, because I think
Just make it easier to switch characters, because I
Yeah.
didn't like that you had to find a box in order to have your characters change. I'd rather just have the ability to change the characters whenever I want.
right, yeah, because I think
Not
it
counting your partner, obviously.
I do think it incentivizes you to use more characters, and I don't know, I think it's an interesting take.
You out of shortcuts if you don't have them out.
Yeah, there were some special rings that you could get screwed
Yeah.
out of if you didn't have the right
like,
combination.
I
The
feel
one that comes to mind, the one in Mirage Saloon Act 1 that you need Mighty for.
I feel like that's
Yeah,
still
that's
a
why I say
good.
they needed to have it to where you could switch characters whenever you want.
I do feel like that's a good incentive to keep characters alive, though. I think, I mean, I do think you should, like, if you have every character, I think you should be able to choose between them, like you said, on the fly. But like, if a character dies, I think that's fair game, and you shouldn't need to get them back.
I guess that's fine. It's just I wish I had the option to switch characters.
Yeah, it's
whenever
just
I
limited
wanted
to 2. Yeah, it's just limited to 2, which is,
Yeah,
yeah.
in some cases you can't choose which
Yeah.
characters you get.
Yeah, like because the ring box, because the box,
Choose your
model,
weapon.
Like they switch out the character in rotation and which might not be the one you want, or the random
Yeah.
box would screw you over completely.
Yeah.
Or benefit you depending on what happens, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I still think it is fine. I think the small price of admission was worth it, just for Mighty and Ray.
Yeah, and it's, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's a good way to segue into talking about them themselves.
The Mighty and Ray. Yeah, they're fun little additions. They're very, Ray is very good for speedruns, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Um,
If you play Mario World, you know how to use Ray.
yeah, he's basically just a cape feather. And I haven't really used them in a main, like, outside of Encore mode, but I think they're enjoyable enough, and,
After Encore mode, I did do one run as Mighty and Ray.
mm.
Also, another thing I like is that you can use your, one of the updates added was that you can use your extras in save files.
Oh, yeah, I like that too. That's a nice change.
I
Yeah,
didn't know they did that.
Now, reasonably do in and Knuckles run.
I
Yeah.
didn't know they did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really good.
Knuckles.
Yeah, because now I was able to actually do a Knuckles and Knuckles run.
Yeah. Because,
Knuckles and Knuckles.
Mania is a long game, so, well, for
Yeah.
classic Sonic standards.
Fire's long anyway.
It's long for classic Sonic standards, I
Fair
guess.
enough. Anyway, for my general opinion on Mighty and Ray, I thought Mighty was a little underwhelming compared to Ray, just because all Mighty gets is this ground pound that kills all enemies, and he gets the ability to protect themselves from spikes and projectiles when he's curled. But
Yeah.
other than that, he doesn't offer a whole lot to the table. Whereas Ray, he can break the game because he's Cape Mario from Mario World.
Yeah.
That's it.
It does.
Mighty does make some bosses easier.
Yeah.
He does.
I mean,
So, I think it's basically like a beginner Sonic. If that makes any sense.
The developer said that Mighty was intended to be the easy mode.
I
which
can feel
kind
that.
of see.
I can feel that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's basically Sonic without with the ground pound and the spike protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though besides that, I don't think it's that much harder with Sonic. That's
Not
probably because I
really.
played the game enough to know
Yeah,
the game.
that's the thing. It's hard for us because we played Sonic games for so long, but I'd imagine for a new cut.
Yeah, but like you said, it was for beginners.
Yeah, because I feel like for newcomers, Mania might be a bit difficult for some.
You know, if you've played Mario World, Ray might as well be your easy mode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the issue is just keeping the momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that said, I do like that said, I do prefer the ground pound over the drop dash, to be honest.
You do?
That's interesting. I actually like the drop dash more because it's more built for keeping the speed going, whereas I like the drop dash for kind of doing like when I need to stop or whatever, but
The drop dash to me has more utility.
That's it,
compared to
yeah.
the ground pound because
yeah.
Yeah,
the ground
but
pound is not really used much. I think it's used more in Encore than it is in the main game.
The thing with
So
the
it's mainly there for like an extra attack, whereas the drop dash is
it can definitely make
consistently
landing
useful.
It can definitely help like land a bit more precise on certain parts.
yeah, I feel
Yeah,
the ground pound like for me is like it feels like mostly an offensive tool, and I'm not really thinking that much about combat when I play a Sonic game. So it does help sometimes when I need to just stop though.
Yeah. But going back to what you said about Encore mode, I really wish there was like not even talking about the whole like switching thing. It really needed like the Angel Island tease. I think it needed to be a little longer.
I know.
It needed to be its own level.
Yeah, forget
Yeah.
forget being longer. I wanted it to just replace Green Hill for Encore, to be honest. Like, I would love that. Like, if they're gonna...
Smacks my hands. Who is tired of Green Hill and Chemical Plant?
Yeah...
I wonder.
Everyone.
Oh.
At least Chemical Plant is less overplayed than Green Hill.
To an extent.
Yes, but it doesn't make it any less annoying. But I think we'll save this for Forces, honestly. Because,
We'll save that for the inevitable Sonic discussion.
yeah...
That's gonna be a hard episode.
Well, we're gonna say that for the commentary, probably.
Yeah.
we'll just do, like... Well, we all played Forces this year, right?
I did not play it this year. I played it last year.
Oh, okay, I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember, like, when all these...
Harry is so lost in time he forgets what year the game came out.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
For some reason,
I
I
feel like that's,
thought it was last year.
No, I feel like that's enough for the Mania Plus discussion. It was a pretty
Yeah.
good expansion, all things considered.
Yeah, and again, I think it's worth what...
Encore may have not impressed me much outside some of the palette switches and the idea of the tag mechanic, but other than that,
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good reason to go back to playing the game.
Yeah, again, I think it's good enough for one more playthrough, I think.
If you do have the digital version, I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have
Or-
the digital version.
And if you
We
don't have a
have the
digital,
physical
you can get a
version.
physical.
Right,
We
so...
have the physical version for the Switch.
Yep.
I have it right here. It's in the case, right across from me.
Alright, so if we're done with that, who's next on the list? Maddie.
One quick game I can bring up. One quick game I can bring up. Is Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon.
Alright, well, if you're gonna...
I just installed that today, so...
Yeah, which is a game. It's basically, Bloodstained. For those who don't know, is the indie version of Castlevania. This was around the time I think my number 9 was still relatively well received, and since Konami wasn't making a new Castlevania game,
Thanks,
one of the
Nova.
creators of the game of Castlevania, at least from Symphony of the Night onwards, he decided to make his own Kickstarter, and that game is being released as Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. However, NT Creates, the people who've made the Mega Man Zero series, Mega Man 9 and 10, Mighty Gunvolt, so on, they decided to release a prequel game called Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
was
basically to describe it in the simplest terms, it's basically a modern version of Castlevania 3 for the NES, with some game design elements that feel more in line with what we expect today, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wasn't Curse of the Moon a Kickstarter goal?
I think so.
Yeah, and also for Castlevania, it's also really easy by Castlevania standards.
This is nowhere near as hard as most of Castlevania games. I'll say that much.
Especially the game that it's more or less inspired by.
Oh fucking! I'll get to Castlevania 3 in a bit.
Unless you want to compare it to the Japanese version.
No, the English version of Castlevania 3 is harder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying unless we want to compare it to the Japanese version,
Yeah,
which is easier by comparison.
I think Curse of the Moon is a pretty good game, all things considered. I haven't played it in a while, but I think the game itself it's pretty solid. I like the different playable characters, even if they are just the Castlevania 3 recast. So if you've played that game, you know what to expect.
Yeah, and I kind of like the extra playthroughs that you can give. Like there's one the one where you can just you can kill the guys and Zangetsu gets some more abilities.
Yeah, you can play the game where you can play it with Zangetsu alone, who's the main character of the game. You can play with just the partners, which adds a little bit more story, and then there's the ultimate mode, which is you get powered up Zangetsu with the partners.
Which is also, but it's also a harder run, right?
I didn't think ultimate mode was that hard.
Yeah, there's also different difficulties.
Yeah, I played it on the regular mode. I didn't want to do easy mode. 'Cause that's not how I operate.
Yeah, I did a take all the partners with me run on normal, but because I hadn't played Bloodstained in a while, I did do a casual run of Zangetsu alone. just cause I felt like it.
Okay.
But yeah, I appreciate how like there's like the different pros and cons to doing each of these. There's different. It definitely adds a lot of replayability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has a solid amount of replayability for the type of game it is.
Yeah, maybe I think the kind of maybe more or less the kind of replayability that Rondo of Blood has.
Hmm.
Yeah. Only in this case, it's less alternate paths and more just different playthroughs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the form of different kinds of playthroughs. What you can do rather than the different pathways or like Maria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh boy, come
Yeah.
on.
There isn't a whole lot to say about Bloodstained. I do recommend it if you're interested in Castlevania, or at least the old school Castlevania games. I recommend starting with Curse of the Moon just to get a general taste
Okay.
of what the type of game is like.
It's probably the easiest classic Vania you'll find.
Okay.
So like if you sampled the original and didn't like you thought that was a little too hard, then this would probably it's definitely an easier way to get into it.
Okay, fair enough. So is that it, or you got anything else?
Would you run to a blood or did you hold it next?
Just for Bloodstained, that's it. It's not a very meaty game to talk about.
Is it Curse of the Moon, right? Or no, not Curse of the Moon.
Curse of the Moon's the 8-bit game.
What's the what's the main project called again?
Ritual of the Night, I believe.
Yeah, is that this year?
Oops.
Yes, it is, I believe.
Okay, cause I'm looking. That's a Metroidvania, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, Ritual of the Night is the Metroidvania game.
Alright.
And this one's the classic Vania. So.
Alright, man.
That's good.
Alright, what's next to talk about? Is Maddie next on the list?
Yeah, Maddie's next.
I'm gonna talk about a game that I actually recently finished, and I know it's probably been out for a while, but I have to stress this. I recently finished Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, okay.
Last year.
Isn't that one Mass Effect game that
As he has just said, oh god, no.
Okay, first of all, Maddie, I want to ask: after all the patches, is it in a playable state now?
It's in a playable state. It has its problems, but I'm going into this as a person who loves Mass Effect despite all the mistakes that the previous trilogy did.
Yay!
So, we'll keep that in mind. So, Andromeda, it's okay. I mean, it's alright for what it is. I mean, we could have had, like, a better main character who wasn't as kind of flat, but at least it was a bit more refreshing than Shepard. Shepard's stoic, and he or she has been part of the Force or whatever. It's been a while since I played the original game, so I can't remember.
But is this the favorite? Is this her favorite podcast on the Citadel?
Wait, Joe, have you played Mass Effect? Joey, have you played Mass Effect?
Oh, I've played Mass Effect 3, not all the way through to completion.
I've watched one of my friends play Mass Effect 2 and 3. I played Mass Effect 1 for a bit, but couldn't get into the story, and I just heard Andromeda was not worth getting because some stuff regarding fans not liking something to do with Shepard or something like that.
Mass Effect 3 had a real...
Abby plays the Dragon Age series, doesn't she?
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah,
Dragon Age fan, yes.
Azzy and I are big Dragon Age fans, but we're on Mass Effect right now. We'll talk about Dragon Age.
We can talk about Dragon Age later if people have played Dragon Age games and
and only Maddie has to.
Don't worry,
And
Azzy. Hook me up and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, maybe after the podcast you can go ahead and just go off.
Right. As I was saying, Mass Effect 3, the game that I played the most of, considering I haven't played any other Mass Effect game, most of the time I was playing the online multiplayer horde mode, which was full of loot boxes.
Yay!
Before loot boxes were too big of a problem.
You didn't play Mass Effect.
Hooray for EA and their dumb loot boxes.
Here's the thing. If you want a good example of why you should not tie progression into loot boxes, Mass Effect 3's multiplayer horde mode.
No, never played
Or Battlefront 2.
Well, they fixed that, didn't they?
They.
Kinda,
Eh.
not kinda, but they mitigated it, but not by much.
Yeah.
Because I haven't touched the game in a while.
I heard what they did was they tied like Darth Vader and all that behind like ridiculous prices, and you have to
You
like.
know what's funny?
yeah.
They did all this
They re-
because they said we couldn't do cosmetics because no one wants to play as a pink Darth Vader, only to have a overwhelming, like there were like 6 overwhelming petitions saying, yes, I would play as a pink Darth Vader.
Yeah, I read that. I read that article. It was like it would mess with the canon. Bullshit. The game alone is messing with the canon.
Yeah, who cares about about an online shooter kind of thing, like messing with the canon of Star Wars? Like, that's
Oh
not
no,
what.
but Stormtrooper has a new sticker on it that we never seen before. This must not exist. No cosmetics.
Like,
Like-
the only time we consider it canon is back when the games were canon. Like,
Yeah.
what's it? Star Wars.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic. That's on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was considered canon.
I mean,
Which is also
into
done by BioWare.
it's. I still like semi consider the Old Republic canon, like until they make like a movie or something that goes against the games. I would still consider it like semi canon because nothing
It's not canon.
well nothing
Well, I mean,
that's why I
is the
said
Clone Wars canon?
the Clone Wars and Rebels, that's all canon. But my point is like until they like do something that goes against the Old Republic game, I would still consider it at least semi canon because it's still like the Old Republic still happened in some way.
Alright, well, now that
But-
that temporary Star Wars derailment discussion happened.
Yeah,
Back now?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Go back to
Sorry,
Mass Effect
sorry.
Star Wars will be
It's
later.
kind of hard to keep. It's kind of hard to keep the Mass Effect thing going when none of us have played but you. But go ahead.
Yeah.
For a minute, I was about to say rude, but then again, I was like, that's true. But I'm just gonna keep this short so people don't have to hear my nitpicking. Drama is okay for what it is. It's not the best, and everyone's blaming. When the whole thing happened,
Crap.
everyone started blaming BioWare, but it really wasn't BioWare's fault. It was EA's.
I think I blame you more.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was EA's because
It's
they
always
rushed it.
EA's fault.
Yeah, because I think they kind of made the development trouble just so they can pretty much can the series or something.
Wait, really?
Oh god. Yeah.
Dude, have you heard of it? They killed. I'm surprised they haven't killed off BioWare at this point.
That is
Poor
depressing.
BioWare.
I mean, I think Anthem was the only thing keeping BioWare going at this point.
Mm.
Mm.
Speaking of,
Well, Mass
actually, that's not here or there right now. Sorry.
No, it's not.
Mass Effect Andromeda, it was okay. I could have had more bouncy moon buggy physics like in Mass Effect 1. I wanted to ride up a mountain because that was fun.
That was actually an
Seriously.
incredibly split opinion. Like,
Mass Effect
I think it's like 60% of people hate it, 40% love it.
Hmm.
Listen, I love bouncy moon buggy physics. I want to climb up mountains. It's not that bad. People who say it's awkward and weird and all the faces look weird, but at least they fixed the faces and didn't keep
Is it
them
as
like
awkward
that
as
for a
Marvel
while.
Capcom Infinite before the patches?
Oh gosh.
No, it's
Chun-Li,
not. It was
what the
not
hell?
that bad. It was not that bad. It was not that bad, I promise you.
Yeah, what is up with Chun-Li's face?
That's it, that's it.
Alright.
Alright, so wait, do we want to count the bloodstain thing as Hub's talk, or...?
Yeah, I think we should count that, because Hub's
Yeah.
already talked about that,
Alright,
yeah.
Joey's turn, my turn.
Who's next on the list?
It's me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alright. The top of my list, Smash Ultimate Discuss.
We're really
Might as well
going
get
into
it
this
out of the way
early?
now. Might as well get it out of the way now, to be fair.
It was
Okay.
like I wrote them in things as I remembered it and as I thought it, and now I've trimmed it again right before this, so it's even shorter. So
Alright,
just getting
then.
it out of the way now, Smash Ultimate.
Alright,
Okay.
then you want to start off, Joey?
Well, seeing as it is on my list, and everyone else's,
Yeah.
would have hit it eventually.
Yeah.
Smash
I'm
Ultimate.
yeah.
Right, so alright. What mode should I talk? Yeah, that's the one that I've let you borrow because I haven't played. I sort of dropped it, and
I like playing the
Yeah.
Smash mode.
On your
It's
foot.
the fun when you actually unlock a character.
as he likes unlocking characters.
Yeah,
Oh, don't we all?
yeah.
Yes, but she doesn't know who any of the characters are.
Oh man, no, Matt, no, Joey, Joey, you know what's fun? If you showed Azzy the Smash Brothers Ultimate roster, put the characters one by one without showing her the names and ask her if she knows who they are.
Oh, like those kinds of videos.
Yeah, like those things where it's like,
My mom tries to name the Smash Ultimate cast.
Yeah, right.
yeah, it's like you have to name everybody.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Anyway, I like it. It's a much cleaner game. The online needs to be fixed, and I'm not the only person with that problem. Then it is
No, you're not.
the netcode is fucking
No,
trash.
you're right.
No, you're right, Joey. Not everyone's gonna complain about it.
To be
Yeah.
fair, we will never get as low as Brawl.
No.
No, we won't. Thank God for that.
My
What about using a emulator to play Melee over Hamachi?
I don't
That
know
is
what
lower
that's
than
like.
Brawl. You don't want to know. I've played games using Hamachi. I'm
I
moving.
don't even know what that is.
yeah.
Hamachi's an old
Like-
thing that we used for Minecraft servers back in the day. Some people
Okay.
still do.
I see.
Hmm.
Alright, then.
Alright, so,
So-
what else in Smash? Because I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head.
Well, if we
Everyone
could-
is here.
Well, if I can just
Everyone is here.
if I could just say something about the online though, my issue is more about like what's in the online rather than like the connection.
You mean
Yeah,
like
there's
their
less in there than there was in Smash 4.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
yes and no. It's more of like they don't give you,
I hate the rule set preferences.
the rule set preferences was a
They fixed that. They fixed that a little bit because
I
I
s-
remember when I tried playing online the first couple of days.
The word you're looking for was improved, not fixed.
Thank you. Yes.
Because the thing is, like, I've run into less times when I have like a random free for all or something, or like items on a random stage like that. The thing is, though, it still happens every now and then, and
And I can see you in Elite Smash too, I think.
yeah, and I don't know. I like the idea of the of what they're doing with the online, but it just doesn't work as much as it should, and
No, they
yeah.
really need to have like I mean, what's a good way to do this? Like I think some games it's like sometimes if you have a rule set preference and nobody matches it, it just says like nobody's doing this right now or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's like please change your search options.
That's a stupid idea, by the way. By having it, I think if I remember the live stream of November 1st Smash Bros. Live stream, they said that it would be like it would choose whichever rules gets matched. And I'm like, no, just let me play people that have the same rules. Why do I have to?
Yeah,
Why do I
like,
have to play
Yeah.
someone else
Like-
when I don't want to?
Yeah, and like to be fair, at least when you hit Elite Smash, it's gonna be likely that everybody's gonna be using the same options.
Yeah, people are gonna want to
I
use
can
like
tell you that right now. That is true.
right.
I mean, obviously you get those one guys who like to be odd man out or just troll.
Also,
Yeah.
Also, I want to talk about the new what is it? The arena system. I like the arena system, but it needs some work. It's
I think-
mainly being allowed to change rules when you make the room, because
Yeah,
once you make the room, you can't change the rules, and that's
It generally,
kinda-
I think it just generally needs like quality of life changes. Like, I think what they could do is have like 2 boxing rings, so you can have 2 matches going at once in the same room.
yeah, even Dragon Ball players
Yeah.
get
Yeah, and also just simple stuff like letting you change characters and not having you get kicked to the back of the line, because that's really annoying.
that's
To be-
stupid.
Yeah, I mean, in a normal, as long when we're friends, that's not an issue.
Yeah, because we're all in a call and we say, okay, we're changing and all that. But like when you're in a random
Yeah,
room,
yeah.
you can't do that.
Yeah,
No.
and also
Nintendo has
also like how the spectator thing works in that
So
same
you know
regard.
that microphones don't exist as far as Nintendo are concerned.
Yeah, you have to use that stupid phone thing,
I
which no
keep-
one uses.
Yeah, I
Because
keep-
Cancer.
I keep on like going into rooms and saying like connect to Nintendo Switch Online voice app thing.
Okay,
No.
what is that? What is that supposed to be anyway?
The only time I ever used
What, other than cancer?
the only time I ever used the app is for Splatoon 2.
Why do you use it there?
I don't use it for voice. I use it because it lets me check my stats and order extra gear.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fair enough.
I just
And
It's one of those.
unique main abilities on it. That's why I like
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I don't want
Fair
to.
enough.
I don't want us to turn in.
At certain milestones, like new wallpapers for your phone.
I don't want us to turn into like a Nintendo Switch Online rant, but
I mean, that
the
is
only
a
thing.
big part of it, though.
No.
Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say is like the one thing I will say about this is that this is one of those instances where Nintendo are trying way too hard to be different just for the sake of it and not worrying if it's actually a good idea in the first place.
See, I have this feeling that Nintendo employees don't actually use Nintendo products.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but
It's believable.
I mean, at this point, who's deciding all this? Like, I know I appreciate it for being different, but they're being too different. Like,
it depends what it is. Like
It
sometimes,
should literally be fixing a firmware update.
like they're different in ways that I like, and then there's other things they're different in that just make no sense. Like,
Yeah,
You want to know
it's
something
a-
from a
okay,
hardware
you can do
perspective
this, but
that
why?
makes this even stupider?
what?
It's like, okay,
You know the
you can do
headphone
this, but why
you
is
know-
a better option?
You know the headphone port in the Switch?
Yeah.
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 It's not just an audio port, it's one of those audio microphone mix ports.
Yeah, so you just
Oh,
put
yeah,
headset.
Oh yeah, that's what. Oh yeah, right. Because that's what the when Splatoon 2 was coming out, they had the hook fin can like headset like thing that I
Yep.
actually got because it was cool, and I used it
And
for
that
some
thing
time.
had a microphone built in, and except you had to buy an adapter that would route it between your phone and your Switch, and it was stupid.
Oh,
I
I've heard about. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I never used it for that. I just used it as my headset and microphone for some time.
Yeah, I remember this.
Well,
Plus, it also
you know
good cosplay.
that the
Also, it's good
Inkling
cosplay.
is also in Smash Bros, yes?
Yeah.
Remembering that
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about, and
Well,
the
it-
conversation
that's
back
kinda
to
like
music segue is amazing.
I was gonna say it's kind of a weird way to transition to it when we're still in the middle of a topic.
Yeah.
We're
I
in the middle
mean-
talking about something.
I mean, I guess, there's not much really else to say about it online. I guess maybe except just for
Just
add some basic
Fucking
stuff.
work on it.
Yeah, just work on it.
Fix
Like
it.
the general like idea of it is fine. I think it just needs to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Also, like,
yeah.
one more thing about the app thing. It's really dumb because apparently you can't even you have to stay on the app at all times as well.
What?
Oh yeah, that's dumb.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
the app
Anyways,
was dumb to begin with.
yeah.
Well,
and-
well, yeah,
so,
yeah.
The story mode.
Well, oh yeah, I think now
uh,
I think World of Light might actually be a good topic to go to. Now.
I still like the story mode.
Before we go into that, can we just talk about how we feel about the game itself, like how it feels? Because I think in general this is the best Smash we've ever had. I think.
Yes.
In come Melee fanboys going, no, fuck boy, you're wrong.
Melee
I mean-
fanboys,
Right.
I do love how this game feels. I think it.
Yeah.
I think it has. I think we're
This
at a
game-
point where it feels in terms of like how it plays compared to other Smash games. I feel like this is a good balance between offensive and defensive play.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
in the
'Cause
past, it's either been too offensive or too defensive.
yeah, Brawl and Smash 4 were too heavy on the defensive side, whereas Melee
But
was
it was
like.
better than Brawl in that regard. To be fair,
Hmm.
it was
Before-
better.
It was
Full-
also just like dodge everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Smash 4 was better than Brawl in that regard, but it was still a bit too defensive, and Melee was like pretty much all offensive and nothing but that. So
Yeah,
like,
which is why I don't like that game competitively.
and I mean, I will say like I do understand more so than I used to like why Melee was played for is still played to this day, but you know I do like that Ultimate struck a good balance between the two styles, and I think it I think it's become like the most polished out of the series, and
Yeah, because
yeah,
one thing I think about is cause like there's the whole casual competitive debate thing going on. Melee is not a melee is like 10% a casual accessible.
yeah. Well, I mean, because like
The competitive scene, like all that stuff you're seeing, like at Evo and all that, all those the wave dashing, all those tricks, you're not gonna be able to do that kind of stuff if you're like if you're not dedicated your whole life to that.
basically, and I mean, like, if you're, I mean, also if you're a casual player, you're not really gonna think about that. Like, you'd probably just be like, oh, why would I play Melee? Why wouldn't I just play the new game and all that? Because like, we can think about that stuff, but like your average like Joe or whatever, probably wouldn't.
I take offense to that.
I was waiting for Joey to react to that.
Yeah.
Your average casual player, like myself or every other average person, isn't going to care about the competitive.
Yeah, they just want to play the new game, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But
Yeah.
as for like Ultimate itself, like I do really love how it feels. Like there's a lot of movement options. It feels like you're constantly like doing something, and there's not like a moment of just stuff stopping. And like it has a good sense of flow, I think.
Yeah, it took
And
a bit to
since
get
we
used
are
to
on
it.
movement,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, top 3 characters to play as. Go.
Oh, that's
Oh.
see.
Crap.
See the thing with me.
Robin?
See the thing with that's interesting. The thing with me is that I kind of have a character crisis. Like I'm kind of just going around the roster and just seeing what sticks.
Yeah, like, not even-
Okay. Alright, well, I'll go first. In no particular order, Mega Man, Palutena, Kirby. Those are the 3 I'm used to compared to the other characters at the
Can we
moment.
include playing this?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's leave the DLC discussion for the next year's podcast.
Yeah, let's leave
Okay,
the
fair enough.
DLC for when more DLC and stuff comes out. My top 3: Dark Pit, Falco, Ness.
Okay.
Oh,
What about Peach Girl?
Oh,
What about Peach
Peach?
Girl?
I
I
can
would
see.
have said Peach, but that was probably too obvious, so I would decide to go with one of my other characters.
Right, I'll say characters that
Well, it's obvious for Mega Man Hub at that point, though. To be
yeah.
fair.
Characters
I'm
like
synonymous with this character, man.
Redact Ness. Peach is there now. Done. Everyone's happy. Redacted.
Okay, then I guess if well, Harry was speaking first, so if he wants to go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, at the moment, the characters that I feel good with would probably be like Wolf, Roy. I really like Sonic in this game. I think they did a good job with him. I still kind of wish, I still kind of wish they changed more of his moveset, but for
What do you mean, like
Kind of-
everything feels similar? I do like what they changed with his homing attack, though.
yeah, I do like that. I don't know. I would have at least liked to have like the spin dash be changed.
All right. And let's see.
Dang it.
I guess I'll go next. Dark
Oh.
Samus.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like jumping around a bit too recently.
Yeah.
Fuck, I also haven't played in a little bit.
You could put
I
Peach
guess-
there too because you used to play a lot of Peach too.
Well, Daisy.
Yeah.
And oh man, it's really hard with so many characters.
Yeah. Right.
In for I guess Inkling.
Yeah. I've Inkling for what I play doesn't feel too bad.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the
I
game.
I need to get back into Robin though, cause like
Yeah.
because like I was so dedicated when the game was announced, I was so dedicated to learning Robin and to, like, okay, I'm gonna learn Robin again, but it felt like so weird with how the game now feels that I kind of like inadvertently dropped them.
Yeah.
I want to get, but I need to pick a
This happened to me,
exact. No, hello, darkness, my old friend.
my friend.
All right. Anyways, Harry, I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
I'm not sure. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
We talked
Lewis,
about
Lucina,
talked about
Lucina,
how the game
Lucina.
feels.
Yeah,
Talked about the
basically.
adventure mode. We
Oh,
talked about the characters.
I like the Fire Emblem characters like pretty much in general.
I'm getting
Especially
there.
because two of them are kind of heavier characters, and I'm referring to Ike and Roy because Roy feels like he's being weighted down by rocks.
Well, he is
Yeah,
like really fast though.
Yeah, wait, actually,
That
is
is true.
Roy faster than Crom?
I don't know. I think they're the same.
I think
Oh,
they're the same.
No, I remember what I was gonna say. The thing I love about this game is that there doesn't seem to be the characters don't feel that higher. Like the tier list doesn't seem like it's gonna matter as much as it did in like Smash 4, for instance, or even like Brawl. Like,
yeah, but
like I don't think I've played a character yet that feels outright bad. I think they did a really good job balancing the game.
I know I
No,
played a
the
character
only-
where I know I played a character where I'm just flat out bad with them. Bayonetta.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's a difference between like you
Bayonetta
being
is that in
yeah.
Smash 4, her attacks are executed very fast, and now they have a delay on them, which
Yeah.
makes me feel like, okay, but why you do that though?
Bayonetta
Yeah.
has this rhythm I can't get into.
Yeah, it's like, and like at the moment, I think the game's like even with Piranha Plant out now, I feel like there isn't really a character that's like the equivalent to a Bayonetta or a Meta Knight, which I do really like, and I hope that doesn't. I really hope that doesn't change with the other DLC characters because
Joker
yeah.
breaks the game, becomes the new Meta Knight.
yeah, because like the thing with Smash 4 is that the thing
You
with
never
Smash.
see it coming.
Yeah, it's annoying because like the Smash 4's a really well balanced game until Bayonetta came along, which is really
Yeah,
depressing.
Then she became the meta.
And there's a reason why Smash 4 just kind of died comparatively.
Yeah, not even counting the whole. Was it Evo?
It was Evo 2018.
Yeah, that was just
Right,
bad.
that whole shit show.
Yeah, like you're just like making your game look bad. Like
Yeah.
That was a pretty awful way to end that tournament.
it was a pretty awful way to end Smash 4's life.
Yeah, 'cause-
Yeah, it was.
yeah. At least now we can look back. At least now we can move on with the new game and be glad that MK Leo showed off why Bayonetta needed to be nerfed.
Yeah, MK Leo is the real MVP of Ultimate's competitive
Yeah,
at the moment.
Sakurai, yeah, no.
This is a mistake.
Yeah, right. Delete this.
Delete
No,
this.
you just need the JonTron part in that Disney bootleg episode. It's like, this is a mistake.
Yeet!
Yeet.
Yeet this barrel out of existence.
No, it's like in the Alpharad video where it's like Bayonetta is like bottom tier, Pichu's top tier now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyways, how do you feel about like them bringing back like all the old characters, like even the ones that like you would think should have theoretically stayed gone?
I love it.
That was the game's selling point.
I love it.
It's here, yeah.
It's
Because
basically Marvel vs. Capcom 2 all over again. Every fucking character in the previous games come back.
Only more balanced than with patches.
Only more balanced, yes.
Oh, that's another thing.
It was an imbalanced mess.
Why aren't you using Sentinel, you scrub?
Oh, that's one other thing I love. That they're actually bothering to give us.
I think.
They're bothering to give us patch notes this time.
Yes.
God.
They did that with Piranha Plant, didn't they?
Yeah, and there was like on top of that they changed a lot of things with other characters, and they actually talked about it for once.
Yeah,
Like, they made,
they're actually learning.
I know offhand they made Jigglypuff's back air faster, and I think it has less land lag now.
Good. All right, back guys, keep going.
Or at least we're getting patch notes, because
Yeah.
fuck, it's really dumb that in the past we didn't get jack shit. We just said, find out your own. Good job.
That would be horrible if we had to figure it out over this game, because that would take like a year to get for everyone.
It'll take forever.
Yeah.
I think considering that the roster was smaller and 4, and it's not saying much.
No,
because
even
it was-
even by Smash 4, we had like patch notes for other fighting games in the past. But
Yeah.
by 4, there was like no excuse to not have patch notes
Yeah.
for Smash Brothers. At least now we're
Yeah.
getting patch notes, so that's good.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's some more of the mode. I have yet to really try out the other modes, like was it Squad Smash or Squad Strike? I forget what the mode's called.
The one where you like get to choose between like 3 characters or something.
Well, there's that one. Then there's what's the one where you pick
Mode for playing with friends.
Smashdown? Yeah, that's
Smashdown.
the one where you
I haven't tried it out yet.
that does look like a nice mode, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah, actually going into that quickly. I'm glad what they improved on the modes that we do get, but there seems to be a lot less
A lot less what?
Just
modes,
modes.
like our kind of things. Like we're like a lot of things are not more.
Like there's no
There's
home run contest.
there's no break the targets or not even there's not even an Angry Birds equivalent.
Not even a real race to the finish.
No.
No, that mini mode and classic mode is nothing. It's nothing.
The thing is, like,
Okay.
it's so short and nothing,
Yeah.
and like it's always the
The
same.
background looks nice.
Get to the
At
point
least
where
the
it gets to the
background
point
looks
where you
nice.
just run
Yeah.
left and just
Well, at least classic mode is good. It's really good in
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah, it's the best it's been, I
not
think.
classic mode yet.
Yeah, because like it's instead of like being random, whatever they did in the other games, everyone has a set path.
Yeah, and I think
Nintendo
that's
was
really
like-
nice.
Yeah.
Nintendo was like, "Do you want to play classic mode with characters and basically have a tiny little hints of fan service inside of it? Well, play this game."
The
Yeah.
fun part is like with the spirits, like identifying the reference.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
but,
it's
but
just,
there's
yeah.
one big weakness with the spirits, and that's the fact they don't give information on the character. Is what's
Yeah,
missing.
that's disappointing because that's like my favorite part of the trophies, and like
Yeah.
if these are gonna be a replacement, it would have been nice if they at least did that, but no.
Yeah, so it
Well,
makes
they,
it.
they probably
it's- yeah,
didn't want to
it's not
repeat
cool.
Smash 4 where they just put spoilers in there and people are shitty about it. It's like, well, Nintendo.
I mean, this is
That's
still
a good point. I'll give them that.
Hey guys, what is the best trophy?
that's a random
I don't
question.
know.
I don't know.
The one in the melee opening that became for Mario.
Sure.
Oh.
But like I will I don't know. Like I do
Sorry. Well, one more thing about classic mode about about Ultimate that it's more of a nitpick. Too many master/crazy hand fights.
yeah. I was hoping they would have more unique bosses.
Yeah.
At least
my
Kirby's
favorite-
classic mode gets a unique boss.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's funny that
Mark was a surprise.
I find it funny that Luigi fights Dracula. That was pretty good.
I find it even more. I find it even more funny that Bayonetta fights a giant Palutena.
Yeah, that's
She
good.
fights
That's
giant God.
amazing.
She fights giant God at the end of her game, and God is also a woman, so.
Okay,
Man,
well,
I've had the attention span to create all of the worlds.
okay, well now that
Actually,
I think the last thing we have to talk about. I think the last thing we have to talk about for Smash Ultimate is the World of Light story mode.
Yeah.
This seems very. This is very divisive from person to person. It
Oh,
seems.
I
Okay, actually, first of all, has
think
everybody
it's
here
great.
finished it yet?
I haven't finished it. I've
I
only
think-
played it for a couple of hours, so.
I've finished
I
it.
haven't finished it and I've only played it a couple hours, but I still think it's great.
Finished it.
I have. I love.
The first time. Only the first time.
Okay, alright, let's Harry speak as he was speaking about it first.
Okay, well, I can't say like my overall thoughts because I haven't finished it. I've only played for a few hours, but I will say off the bat, I really do love the idea of it because it's basically, or spirits in general, it's basically event matches on steroids, and that's like one of my favorite parts of the other games. So to have a mode that's basically like thousands of those, or not thousands, but like hundreds of those things, is like a big yes to me.
But
I-
how
I-
do you feel to see like no one liked Smash Tour, which was the board game one.
No.
No.
that was
Everybody-
terrible.
A lot of people liked the
Smash Run. Smash Run was
Smash
great.
Run.
Smash Run.
No, I wasn't gonna say Smash Run, but apparently that was good. I have no idea because it was on the DS.
Yeah.
No, I was the Final Destination, not Final Destination,
It's
the
the
one on
subspace.
Mail.
Subspace.
Emissary.
Subspace.
Subspace
I
Emissary?
still think subspace is shit, but okay.
The
I think it's more fun with a friend at least.
I have
You can
mixed.
say that about anything, man.
I have mixed feelings with some.
Except for some like the Mario games nowadays.
I have mixed feelings with
Ooh,
Subspace. But
Sorry.
I was gonna say, I don't know. I'm enjoying it so far. I'll see later on if I end up getting exhausted or whatever. Because a lot of people seem to say like after a while it does kind of drag.
It kinda dra-
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my problem with it. That's my problem with it. Is that it drags far too long after a while. It's cool
Advice
at
for,
first.
advice for anybody who hasn't played it yet. Don't marathon it. Take it in
Yeah.
some bursts.
No, if you marathon it, you will hate this mode.
Yeah, that's
You will
yeah.
despise it.
Yeah, that's why I'm playing it in like half an hour bursts, more or less.
Right. Also, going back for a second, I know how you said it's a conventional on steroids, but that's also what the Spirit Board is for.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like the Spirit Board, like it doesn't really seem like besides the world map and all that, it doesn't really seem that much different from the Spirit Board itself. Cause the thing with the,
Go ahead.
well, the thing with this, like the story itself, is that it kind of doesn't understand why the cutscenes in Subspace were so fun to begin with, because like it's all these like this all-star cast interacting with each other, whereas
Yeah,
like
this-
Yeah, it got our
Yeah.
it got our expectations a bit too high, I guess.
Yeah, the story
Yeah.
it's just kind of there.
because it's just these
It
two,
just exists.
because it's just these
Barely anything.
it's these two random like gods just fighting each other, and no one cares about that. We want to see like Captain Falcon Falcon punch a giant Rob and kill a bunch of Pikmin and stuff like that. Like we want to see like this crossover.
Falcon, Pikmin murderer.
Yeah, we want to see like these crazy situations play out between these characters that are like really unlikely
thing we got out of
mashups.
that was the
Falco.
goddamn intro.
Yeah,
The only thing we got out of that was the goddamn intro where everybody fucking died.
yeah,
Yeah,
Except Kirby.
and
yeah, back the middle cutscene and the endings.
yeah, like
yeah, it's just kind of
yeah.
it's just there. That's it.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, just literally like, here's your bingo. And
Yeah.
like they make a deal out of it too.
It's kind of annoying, but
Especially when with the final Smash Drive before the game came out, it was like they ended on that. They got us so excited. So like, what's going on? What is this? Like,
yeah. I was
They-
hoping
they're
that
like
at least the
gameplay
bosses would
like-
have a cutscene, but not even that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
basically a giant FUD.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest here. Okay. At first, I thought it was kind of neat for maybe the first few hours, and then I started to really despise it because of how long it went on.
the only part that I think the best part about it is this one section in the World of Darkness that I don't know if I want to say directly.
They don't say it directly because
yeah.
that was the best part. Of the
Oh,
whole thing.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, let's leave it.
I
Are we
don't even
talking-
know what you're talking about, and I've beaten it, so.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about it after the
Harry,
stream.
what do you think we're talking about?
We'll talk about it after the stream because I don't want this to be like
Yeah.
on here.
All right, Harry, Hub, do me a favor. Can you DM me as a reminder?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, but yeah, I think it would be. I think it would have been a little bit better if they just had like some like little platforming levels sprinkled around, because I do like these like event match styled fights, but it's basically all you're doing, and just having something to break up just the fighting all the time would be nice, and
Yeah.
I don't know. like, I'm not in a position to say whether this or Subspace is better yet, but I will
I
say
think that this is structured better.
yes,
Yeah, Subspace is structured better. It's structured better, but I think this is designed better than Subspace.
I like.
mean,
There's
Yeah.
no Great Maze equivalent.
Yeah, that's like the worst final level
yeah,
ever.
and you can choose the fights at least, and
Yeah.
and they're just normal, and minus the gimmicks, they're still normal fights rather than like beating up generic enemies.
Yeah, and I mean,
Some maps in the World of Light are quite good.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
actually
I
kind of
like the fact is.
I actually kind of like Great Maze.
I like it in
You-
concept.
Get out of here. Get out of here, please.
See, I'll say this. I like I like the concept of the Great Maze. My issue with it is that you're just playing the same game again.
Yeah, it's the worst kind of revisits.
I honestly don't see what the problem is.
You're playing the game again.
My issue with
everything again.
Yeah,
Because
it's everything again.
Because my issue with it is that it basically does everything that I feel is like blasphemous for a last level to do. Like you're having to replay everything again, and like it takes way too long. It's not interesting. It's not
Tedious.
It's not challenging. It like if they just made the subspace levels beforehand, like the last levels in the game, I think it would have been perfect. Or at the very least, made it so the Great Maze.
Maybe, I have an idea. Maybe make it so you don't have to fight all the enemies. Maybe aim for like maybe for an ending, for a different ending or something.
Just have a simple boss rush if you're going to make us repeat stuff.
What I think could have been.
Yeah, even World of Light's ending did that right.
I think something they could have done to make it better is just made it so. Like you start the Great Maze, you go through like a Mario section, and then you fight all the Mario related characters and bosses, and then you go to a Zelda section, and like they're all unique areas from what you've seen before, and they have like subspace elements in there because you're still technically in the subspace world, and
Maybe more like a path.
Wait, what?
Maybe something more linear.
Yes, something a bit more linear, and make it. Have a similar atmosphere to the actual subspace levels, because the atmosphere was perfect in those stages, and it really gave off final level vibes, whereas Great Maze really doesn't. But,
yeah, it just feels like overly long padding.
Yeah, but
I just like it. I respect you guys' opinions on it. I just like it.
Dude,
that's
okay.
fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Fine enough, but like, Harry, do you remember how burnt out you, me, and Nick were during the commentary?
That's because you have nothing to say during that part.
You know what? If just the next time someone does a Smash Bros. Brawl subspace commentary, just say the Great Maze happened. Yeet to the final boss.
That'll be
There's
perfect.
nothing to commentate over. in the Great Maze.
No, basically do like what Brain Scratch does with just the Mega Man final with the Mega Man boss rushes, just like getting and just blow up a planet, just like Great Maze, and then otherwise you're just planet.
Alright, yeah, but again.
No, we should do. Hang on, get the taboo. Just have Captain Falcon do the Falcon Punch. Captain Hot Dog!
Oh, can I just say one thing? It's really weird how they decided, like, Gallium of all things should be the subspace boss to return. And, I mean, I'm fine with...
That was weird.
I'm fine with that.
There's Gallium, Duon,
there's... well, they could have had Rayquaza return for, like, the Pokemon boss, I guess.
Yeah, he would be a good... Yeah, even for, well, maybe as a extra boss in Ultimate, anyways.
Yeah.
We got marks. That's all I'm saying. We got creepy, adorable, fucking asshole.
I mean, the best we're gonna get is Rathalos, if anything.
Yeah. But like,
we live in.
Yeah, right. But like, I'm fine with not Rathalos, Gallium being in, but it would have been nice if we got like Rayquaza or Porky or Pokey or whatever the name's supposed to be,
God.
and
that reminds me, I do like how Gallium represented the Guts tank in Mega Man's Classic mode.
that is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that is good.
It took me a moment to get what that was, but... Like
Yeah.
white gallium, and I was like, oh right, the guts tank.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I think that's everything for Smash Ultimate. That
more or less. I just want to end it by like just say like I feel like we came off a bit negative than I think we really
yeah, 'cause
mean
the game is
because
good. The game is fantastic to play.
because like if I
Negatives.
if I had to pick, it would probably be my game of the year, because like again like everyone's back. It's a really fun game to play, with even with our issues with like World of Light and all that. I do think even with just the new revamped classic mode is enough to satisfy your single player needs, and
Yeah.
I think it's a beefy enough game to satisfy, and
I mean,
I don't know, I really like it overall.
I mean, I usually play Smash Brothers just for the
I think
competitive
it's
stuff anyway.
Yeah,
So I was
like
fine
I
with it.
get on to play with you guys.
yeah, and it's fun going on quick play. Like even with like sometimes not given the
Yeah.
rule set you
Yeah,
need, it's still
yeah,
fun.
And with each new DLC character, the replay value will just keep going up.
Yeah, and
So,
yeah.
That it?
That's basically all I wanted to say. Like, it's that and another game we'll talk about that are my contenders for Game of the Year.
Jesus Christ, that was a long fucking conversation.
Well, I wasn't expecting Smash to be happening this early on. Thanks, Joey.
Let's just get the Smash discussion out of the way.
Alright, what's next?
Now, keep here for
I think
20.
I think it's Jason's turn now.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
and I know I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna steal this from Hub. Fighters.
Oh, okay, yeah, you guys.
Oh yeah, here we go, another game to
Alright.
talk about. But
There's a
Alright.
reason why it won Fighting Game of the Year.
I'll
Yes,
let you guys
yeah,
just go on
but
for
Smash
this.
Ultimate was not nominated, sadly.
If at the VTAs are right, and came out, and we're right before the release.
Yeah,
Right,
and
so it
that's
couldn't-
when, and that's when Joker was revealed, and Jason lost his shit.
Yeah,
I know,
I'll.
it wasn't fake. Like Xavier showed me. I'm sorry before we go in the fighters, but Xavier showed me the thing, like the trailer on the game from GameSpot's YouTube channel. And I'm like, is this just some really well-made fake?
Hmm.
The trailer was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I was like, this is even better. If this is a fake, this is even better than the Rayman leak.
Oh no! One thing I love about it is that this implies that even the DLC characters are gonna get cool CG trailers, and I love that.
Yeah, and I think Joker being there really opens up the doors of who can be there.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Also, Joey left.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
Oh.
This is probably gonna be mostly me and Hub talking about it.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, you guys go wild. I have nothing to say.
Yeah,
Alright.
Mary has things to say as well, but she hasn't played the game yet.
It's more Marvel's Capcom 3, but much better.
I can talk about it even though I haven't played it. I've watched stuff.
I think I honestly I'm not the best at discussing this and the game, so I'm kind of relying on Hub. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, it's cool. I've played this game a lot more than anyone here. But
I played this game.
Like,
Dragon Ball Fighters was a game that had been on my radar since the first trailer came out, because this was when Marvel's Capcom Infinite was going through public relations hell, and then Dragon Ball Fighters just came out of nowhere, and I was like, yo, I have to get this game because it's a team style game. I love those type of fighting games.
yeah.
Two, I haven't played too many Dragon Ball games, but this was a game that, because a lot of Dragon Ball games don't interest me. Like, I don't care to play any of the Tenkaichi or Xenoverse games, but because this one's a very simple 2D fighter, I was right on it from the get-go. And three, this game looks fucking gorgeous.
It's using the same thing that Arc System, because Arc System works in who are they the developer?
Yeah, they developed the game. They developed the game.
They used the animation style they were using for the Guilty Gear for the recent Guilty Gear games, where it's 3D models made to look like sprites.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Rather they're drawn to look like sprites. That's what all the outlinings are for.
yeah, and it
And
looks
they
good.
save all the flashy,
looks so
they save all
smooth.
the flashy stuff when they save all 3D when they're gonna do all their ultimate moves.
Oh yeah, I love that in Digino Gaming.
But
Go ahead.
anyway, to get the complaints, because there are some things about Dragon Ball Fighters that I don't like very much. The
Okay.
single player is incredibly barren.
Yeah.
I feel like this game might have one of the worst arcade modes I've ever seen in a fighting game. Because
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know if it's just me, but fighting game arcade modes have been going to shit lately. Because we have Tekken 7, which has one fight.
Or,
We have
or they
Marvel's
don't
Capcom
exist.
Yeah, we have Marvel's Capcom Infinite, which has no character endings.
Oof.
And then we have Dragon Ball Fighters, which has no character endings, nor unique final boss at the end. Basically, what you do is
and set paths for and set things for everyone.
yeah. So basically, what you do is you pick a mode, you fight, you do a series of fights. That's it.
And also
Like,
damage scaling. What?
Baron.
It's also unfair.
What's
Oh
that?
yeah, it gets unfair because the AI is bullshit.
For reference sake, I think I don't think this applies to the early fights at least, but basically the later fights in any of the arcade routes, their damage output is like tremendously high, and while yours is just regular.
Mm-hmm.
A wall
basically-
level 3 from them is pretty much an instant kill.
So Bardock.
Yeah, it is
Well, no, in
Bardock.
general, I mean, if you ever seen the damage that a fully charged Spirit Bomb can do from Goku, that's from base Goku, that's an instant kill.
Yeah.
So basically,
But,
they touch you and you die. Is
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The CPUs have TODs.
Even on the easiest arcade mode, which
Cooties.
is Snake Way,
TODs. No, TODs. Touch of deaths.
Oh.
the AI on the final fights are brutal.
Hmm.
Looking at you, Cell Black and Kid Buu.
Kid Buu.
That was bullshit.
Yeah.
Talk about the
What a way to do that with some of the best characters of the game.
Yeah.
What?
Arcade
Meanwhile,
mode is-
I forgot Time Chamber had some of the previously worst characters.
But yeah, that's the arcade mode is shit. But the story mode in Dragon Ball Fighters is complete garbage, and this is one of the reasons why I was. No, let me finish. This is the reason. This story mode is the reason why I was so scared about World of Light
Oh, okay.
when it was
right.
being revealed.
Oh,
Because
yeah, exactly. I know it.
Story. The story intercut. The cutscenes are good. The interactions between the characters are good.
Oh, they're really good.
And for some reason, the story has this really stupid self-insert thing where each character in the game, in the story modes, they're all neutralized because we need a justification as to why all the characters are on an even playing field. And that's fine. I have no problem with that.
The reason why Yamcha can actually fight.
Yeah, there's a reason why Yamcha can beat the shit out of Frieza.
Aww.
But
Better character in him in the gameplay.
yeah, but yeah, but you basically each story mode. There's 3 story modes, and no, they're not. It's not one story. It's one same story, but it's not in the same story.
From different perspectives, and even then, they're not the same.
No, so you basically, you're an orb, and you control the characters, and I can't help but feel like it was really tacked on with how it was done. I was like, sometimes the game will give you dialogue options, but that doesn't mean shit.
No.
So it just feels kind of pointless and tacked on.
It's just if you want to hear Goku say a different in line completely, there you go.
Yeah, here you go. It means nothing.
Sorry, sorry, Mom.
The thing with what I've seen is like, that's the reason why I will probably pick up the Xenoverse games is because they probably handle self-insertion.
I think the story there is.
Well, Maddie, self-insertion is one of the points of the Xenoverse games.
I know, and that's why it's better.
Also, to be fair, because I actually played the Xenoverse games, the story there is at least more. Even if it's yet another retelling of Dragon Ball Z's events, it's still. I think the in
It's
between
more
stuff.
unique. It's more unique.
Yeah. The in between stuff is also unique.
Well, you're actually preventing things from happening.
Yeah, because you're
So
like.
it's nice to see what ifs. Dragon Ball Xenoverse is basically what if.
Yeah,
And
like there's been in Xenoverse 1 where during the Cell Saga, or the Cell games to be more specific. What happened was, like after Hercule gets knocked out, Toa like infects Hercule with the dark magic stuff, and he's actually able to do all the like fly around normally, do ki blasts and everything. And he's actually quite annoying.
Yeah.
That is pretty fucking hype.
Evil Hercule.
Keep Turles 5 miles away from me though. But
Yeah,
the
and
thing about fighters.
I also kind of like how Xenoverse 2 also worked in the some of the movie characters, even like the fact that they're also working them in to begin with is a neat thing.
Hmm.
Who wants to hear Broly yell for 5 minutes? Not
We can play fighters for that.
Yeah.
Kakarot!
Alright, but going on to the story mode itself. Yeah, they do the self-insert thing. Depending on the story, you start off with the Goku in the hero story, you start off with Frieza in the villain story, and then you start with 18 in the android story.
Ugh.
And that's basically the self-insert stuff out of the way. The reason why I was so scared about World of Light when that game was being revealed is because Dragon Ball Fire story mode is a 12-hour clone fight gauntlet.
Yeah, and
Each story is about 3 to 4 hours long if you watch cutscenes, and all you do is fight clones the whole time.
with the occasional fights along the way as story games.
With the occasional story fights. And this got so.
And the repetitively easy too until you get to the
Yeah,
later stuff.
they don't get that difficult. You may lose a character or two, but that's really all they do. It's not really that hard.
Yeah, I didn't lose a character during all my runs.
Yeah, they're kind of brain dead.
Well, especially the hero story with the blatant tutorial.
Yeah, the hero story is a 4-hour tutorial.
Oh.
To be fair, yeah, I was gonna say, no, Kingdom Hearts 2 is better.
No.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
At least there's actual story going on.
Fair enough.
But
It also
yeah, it's
brings
something
back the
Paul was
board
saying.
game
So, like,
from-
when we saw like the first few bits of World of Light, I understand what Hub's going at. It's like because there's clone fights
yeah.
everywhere, and it's just like, oh
That
no.
scared me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
scared me.
Yeah, I was nervous and like I was like, okay, but at least this probably won't be as bad as Fighters, but
I wouldn't say World of Light was as bad as Dragon Ball Fire's story mode.
to be fair, the only thing that Fighters really has over World of Light in that regard is a story.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah, and my main.
We're off now first.
Yeah, I would just say, like, I do appreciate that they tried a story mode again, because, you know, Smash 4 just avoided it.
Yeah, but at least at least and then like some parts of the story just are really tedious and monotonous. I'm looking at you, the beginning of the Android Saga.
Oh god, fuck that.
18 and 16 for like 5 plus maps in a row, and it's just like, hey 21, are you okay? I'm fine. Hey 21, are you okay? I'm fine.
17's like, yo, this bitch ain't good. Fuck.
Yeet!
No, you know what, literally, let's eat some ice cream. We are best friends. You are right. Ha ha. Let's eat some ice cream. It's like just that.
See, the problem with that is I wouldn't have. I haven't physically played the story modes, and I'm gonna have to
Maddie,
get
you will
Android
get physically
21.
exhausted.
I know I will get physically exhausted.
Maddie, if you
but
get
do
Fighters,
not
get
lock your-
that. Just so you don't have to go for that
Do
cheating, just watch 21.
Yeah, but do not just lock your characters behind story. Just one. If you locked them all behind the story, it would have been a little bit worth it because you'd be unlocking stuff as you were going along. A little bit worth it. Let me fucking finish.
Well, I mean,
Let
like,
me finish.
to be fair, I can tell right away that the story mode was not the focus of Fighters.
No.
No,
I will say.
No, it's not.
So wait, are there unlockable characters in Fighters? And is there like?
No.
Unlockable characters? Yes, there are. 21 was unlockable. You have to beat the story mode. Then you have to unlock Goku and Vegeta Blue.
Is that the only way to get them?
No.
Oh.
If you
With
get the Fire,
Goku the Blues, you can either buy them off the PlayStation Store, or you can get a good enough score in the arcade modes, I think.
I thought it would get enough gold.
Hold on, I'll actually look this up so we can have confirmation.
Alternately, when I got fighters, I got the day 1 edition, so I got the blues right away.
There's a hi new guy in the chat, by the way. My philosophy with like unlockable characters mainly in fighting games. I think if you're gonna do that, there needs to be like multiple methods to do it.
Yeah.
There's at least multiple methods for the blues, not so much for
Yeah, 21 I understand being unlocked game behind the story mode because, you know, the story mode's around her.
I mean, it depends on
at
how.
At least the Android one is.
Yeah, because you can actually play as 21 in that one.
Well, with that, it depends on how hard it is to unlock them through that.
It's not hard.
It's not hard. It's just mind-numbingly tedious.
Okay, so it says
Android-
here.
Go ahead.
It says here on GameSpot, unlock secret characters in story mode. When you fulfill certain conditions in story mode, you'll be able to use additional characters you usually would not be able to use. Once unlocked, you can use these characters in any of the story modes. So unlockable is reach level 40 with Super Saiyan Goku, which unlocks blue, and reach level 40 with Super Saiyan Vegeta, which unlocks blue.
Unlock them for multiplayer. Well, that's the thing. I unlock them for story mode. Unlock them for the multiplayer.
You can unlock them through the arcade mode as well, or you can
And
PlayStation Store.
there's also earn a certain amount of Zenny or achieve an A rank or higher in specific arcade modes for Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta.
Yeah, you have multiple methods to get them.
Okay.
Did it say which one?
No, you do that. It's the same for both.
Actually, it's not. Not according to what I'm reading too. So it's 50.
No, I'm saying getting enough points is for both. That's what I mean.
When you unlock one, you get ever.
No, you have to unlock. No, you don't unlock both at once.
Oh, okay.
You need to do hyperbolic timetable course hard for Blue Goku.
Oh
And you
God.
need to do gravity spaceship course hard for Blue Vegeta.
The hard mode force you can die in a fire. And you need A ranks on those?
You need A ranks on those, or if you want to grind for 50 years for 300,000 Zenny for Blue Vegeta, or 500,000
Fighters
Zenny
Pass.
for Blue Goku.
Yeah, just get the Fighters Pass.
Yeah, the Fighters Pass gives you 21, both blues, and the DLC characters.
Is that the recent ones, which includes base Goku and base Vegeta?
Yeah, the first pass was actually I think we can include that into this because I also think that the DLC characters are pretty good additions. Like maybe with the exception of just from the idea, the base forms. I mean,
at least they have things that make them different. It's just like not every Goku is the same, and not every Vegeta is the
I'll
same.
give that. Not necessarily clones.
Not really.
Like not even. It's like for better or worse.
From what I've seen, it's just like
Base Vegeta or Super Saiyan Vegeta is still one of the best anchors in the game, if not the best.
But
and then
to talk about the fighting itself, it's a very, very good fighting system. It recently got some changes because Season 2 starting, but basically the gist of it is that if you played, I haven't played Guilty Gear or any Arc System World games. Does Dragon Ball Fighters feel similar to some of those games?
In terms of the button simplicity, it definitely feels more like Blaze Blue or yeah, it feels more like a Blaze. I guess it feels more like Blaze Blue in terms of how the buttons are simplified. Because like Guilty Gear's in control scheme is a lot more advanced, like how you have to do like the combos and everything.
Okay.
The three-party thing, the three-player thing,
that's an obvious thing for Marvel.
That's Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and onward, yeah.
And that's probably why I'll enjoy it, is because I loved
Yeah,
MVC.
Basically, it plays like those games. Like, you have your team base, you have assists for your characters, you can tag characters in, you have super moves, you have all that shit. You have a leader, all that.
There's a reason though I said it's Marvel vs. Capcom 3 better.
It's Marvel vs. Capcom with Dragon Ball mode.
But it's also balance.
And on
Except
roll-
Bardock.
Yeah, but
Except-
that's a different kettle of fish.
No, you just grab Bardock and you're just like, you're not balanced. Why are you not balanced? Why are you like this?
No. Anyway.
Level 3.
But anyways, cause like how would I say it? It's like, well, it's mainly so for the mechanics that make it more balanced.
Yeah.
Like-
Mainly what comes to mind is when a character is knocked out.
Like when you, yeah, because the round resets.
Yeah, position resets.
Which is
Instead
good.
of continuing from where you were, because if you continue from where you were, like in Marvel's Capcom 3, things become predictable.
You get
Yeah, you get
jumped.
bumped.
You get jumped real
Yeah, 'cause
quick, and that's why
Forza
they have that thing in there where it's like,
Yeah,
here, have this
And
little tiny
also,
thing. so you
Sparking
don't
is a
get
lot
jumped.
more balanced out than X Factor.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and how you can describe Sparking? You're better at this.
Okay, so sparking is this game's comeback mechanic, like X
Okay.
Factor in Marvel's Capcom 3, or the gem system in Marvel's Capcom Infinite, or like the X-ray from Mortal Kombat X, all that shit. Basically,
Okay.
what it is that depending on how many characters are on your team, the sparking lasts longer and it's stronger. So when you have 3 members on your team, it's very weak. Sparking level
Like-
1. When you have
seconds.
it doesn't last very long. It's a quick burst of energy. Sparking
And it
level
doesn't
2 is the medium, and then sparking level 3 is the longest.
Can it also be a combo breaker?
It could be a get off. Well, it's not really a combo breaker.
Oh, it's just,
It can
you have
push
a-
people
if you have
back.
All right, because you need breathing. You still need a moment to breathe in order to
Yeah,
activate.
but that being said, you can actually use sparking to extend combos.
Yeah.
Because I've done it before. I've done it
You
plenty
only
of
get
times.
one. You only get one per combat. But also going on, level 2 is kind of like a medium. It's a little bit longer and a little bit stronger, but that you have to lose one character in order to achieve this.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's
But
if you
level
lose
3,
two
which is where Vegeta decides to clean up the house.
Yeah.
Vegeta.
When
That's when
level
your
3
anchor. That's when your anchor cleans house.
I think at level 3, it lasts like roughly like 45 seconds to a minute or so.
I don't know how long it lasts. Sparking lasts, but
Power boost.
the thing with sparking is that unlike X Factor, it's not an instant win. Because X Factor Marvel's Capcom 3 could be like an instant win button, depending on the character you had.
It's level 1, especially when you're down on one character, because you get in the power boost there is too big.
Yeah, it's too large.
Yeah,
I can
also,
attest to this because especially if you're playing Phoenix, who's one of the weakest fucking characters in the whole game, but she's just like a glass cannon. If you let her go, she'll go. She'll kick your ass.
let Dark Phoenix be a thing.
Dark
No,
Phoenix is
please,
cool.
God help.
Anyways, but another thing is, while you're in sparking, if you have, if you're taking damage, as long as you don't lose the chip, I guess you don't get chipped too much, you can recover it back.
You recover it back, yeah.
Drink of water.
And then like how you use the special meter is also good, because like you can use spin a bar to use a vanish, which is you immediately teleport behind your opponent to try to catch them off guard. There's obviously using them for the specials, which differ from character to character. Going from level 1
And they're very extravagantly animated, and I can sit there and
Yeah.
watch them forever.
Unlike Marvel's Capcom though, there's no level 1, 2, 3. It's just a 1 and 3.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a couple level 5s though.
Oof.
Like
Who's got the level 5?
like,
Level
Like
5s are
Team
under-
Go, like the Blues have a level 5 where they do their level 3, then they have like a level 2 they can do
Like
to
follow-up.
extend the damage. Yeah. Team Gohan has one as well.
I think doesn't
Beerus has
think,
a level 2. Beerus has a level 2.
base Goku, I think when he's alone.
No, yep. Base Goku has a level 2. Beerus has a level 2. There are level 2s in the game, there just aren't many. It's mainly just
Right.
level 1s and level 3s.
Someone has
Right.
compiled a
It's
list,
just
and I can
it's just
find
like
the
you're
list
doing
you
level
need.
1, but you add an
Who
extension to
knows?
it.
Yeah.
Like copy,
Oh no,
like copy
internet!
more power.
Internet!
And then there's
Internet!
TN with Neo Driving, where you can
No.
spend all 7.
Mm-hmm.
which is like, isn't it? It's just like, what's damage? Good, die.
God, my internet.
But
Oh, boy.
each character plays differently, has
Everybody
different
die.
and like another thing that's like unlike
No,
Marvel's
I'm
Capcom.
deafened apparently.
Hub mentioned assists, but
I can hear you,
in Marvel's
Maddie.
Capcom, in Marvel's Capcom, everybody has like several different kinds of assists. Some are better than others. Each character only has one in fighters.
And I feel like that's one of the problems I have with fighters is that they need to give more characters assists. Like at least give us 2 assists for each character.
Because otherwise you get something like Goku, like
Krillin.
Vegeta.
Like Krillin.
Oh, you mean the Rock V Sensu team?
Yeah, Rocker Sensu Bean. And then you have like characters like you have characters like Yamcha who are the reason why they're as good as his assist is godlike.
Yeah, it just
He's also,
yeah, the wolf.
he's the Wolverine of this game.
Yeah, he
He's the
is.
good.
He is the Wolverine of this game.
Ow!
Oh man, I love when I was at Colossal Con. I was able to pull off Yamcha's dramatic finish.
It was amazing. I love that shit.
On a big arcade-like screen.
Nice.
That must have been amazing.
It was. It meant my opponent went, okay, you know what? It was worth losing just for that.
Yeah, right?
Nap in the crater.
Like, that's another interesting thing. They're not really that important, but dramatic finishes are like when specific characters are on specific stages and you hit them with the heavy attack as their final hit, you'll trigger a special cutscene.
Mm-hmm. And Frieza gets fucked because he gets fucked up so many times.
Frieza just keeps getting blown up.
Wait, does Frieza have one with Jiren?
No, they don't have dramatic finishes for the new characters.
Not yet.
So, not yet, but basically, Frieza has 4 dramatic finishes. He has a dramatic finish against Super Saiyan Goku, where Goku blows him up on Namek. He has one against Trunks, where Trunks destroys him.
Yeah.
He has one against Base Goku with the Spirit Bomb. And then he has a what-if with Bardock, where Bardock just goes Super Saiyan and fucks him up. That being said, Frieza does have one where he wins against Bardock, but that's about it.
That's basically the canon scene.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters might as well be Dragon Ball fuck Frieza.
Trunks v Zamasu was probably the best one.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes, where the sword just fucking goes through it.
Yeah,
Like,
Nick
yes!
is dead.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was a great one.
He killed the god who said no. My favorite, one of my personal favorites is Vegito's, where he just punches Zamasu.
Oh yeah, he
fucking
punches him.
It just explodes.
Bitch, be quiet. That's what he's basically telling Zamasu.
Yeah.
Bitch, be quiet.
But there's a reason why I brought up fighters as well, and because I'm not that good at the game, admittedly, compared to Hub, especially not compared to Hub, but I still had a lot of fun with it, and I think, now that season 2 is, like, the pass is out and the first 2 characters are here, once I get the pass, I'm definitely gonna try to jump back in.
Once I get a job, I'll be able to get the game. I'll probably get it for my Xbox One, because it's probably one of the. I don't have a PS4, and I don't know how well the Switch port is, so. Unlike
Hub though, I didn't get the pass though. I just got with the first wave. I just bought all the characters individually when I felt like it, because sometimes because there were points where I didn't want some characters, but then it's like, but there's a point where it's like I see the locks on my list and I'm like, damn, this
What bothers you?
This is incorrect.
It's just you looking at the lock and it's like.
It's like my issue with Injustice 2. Right now, I want to get the last few. I want to get Hellboy in here just so I can finish the roster.
Well, I mean, yeah, but basically, season 2 of the game has started, and we got boring ass Jiren and Micro Videl as the first 2 season 2 characters.
Yeah, they came out. What's today? The 2nd?
They came out on the
January 31st.
Yeah, 2 days ago then.
Yeah.
And
I was hyped for Videl and Great Saiyaman.
There's 6 characters coming over the past, but the first 2 came out, and they told us who the last 2 are, but we don't know who the middle 2 are.
Yeah, we're getting Gogeta and New Broly.
Yeah, from the movie.
Yes.
we're getting better Broly because we already have old Broly, and I want new Broly to beat the shit out of old Broly.
You don't want gamer Broly?
I don't want dumbass Broly. No.
No, I want
What
good
about
Broly
us
that
ungraded
actually
together?
I want
I
good
don't know
Broly
who
that
this I don't know who this Broly is, but he's very handsome.
Yeah, for reference sake, just for clarification, it's an inside joke that started between me and Hub, because like he was playing fighters with just like casual games, and then he fought a couple of Broly's in a row, and I just started talking like Broly was just like talking like like some kind of like cool dude, like who just like he's just a friend who's just like excited to play the game.
Yeah.
I get to wreck people online. This is a good way to spend my time.
Yeah, yeah. Huzzah!
Oh boy, I get to be on point now. This is fun. Oh shit!
I am dead. I got shot into the sun. I'm dead. Fuck.
Get to little girl.
I'll be pissed.
Get to little girl. And man with weird costume.
Oh god, so super
We
pumped
turned
for
rolling into
Gogeta. Super pumped for Gogeta because personally Gogeta's one of my favorite
says against Phoenix Ray and Rose Cat Gone Free. It's like, hey, you're not Bird Lady. Hulk confused.
Yeah, and the Hulk was just like, "You're not Bird Lady," and Nick's just like, "Help me, God, please."
Anyways, yeah. I get the feeling that Fighters is gonna be I get the feeling that Fighters is gonna be going strong for a bit. I get the feeling that this is gonna be the last set of characters too.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? This game is very popular in the esports community right now.
Yeah. But like, I don't usually watch esports, but Fighters, I'll definitely sit down and watch. Cause
Yeah, those grand finals are good.
It's one thing to play it, but it's another thing to watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely a very good game.
Yamcha wins.
Yeah, it's like
Yamcha wins.
Yeah, it's because it's like one of the appeals of Dragon Ball itself is just watching the fights go on in the anime, and it really shows here with all the lights going off and all the punches and the vanishes and the dashing and everything. It's a spectacle.
And then
Yeah,
if you're a
definitely a
weird
good game.
person like me, you're also in it for the characters because some of the characters are actually very interesting.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
you, Zamasu. Fuck you.
I like experimenting around with new teams and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you think that's enough, Hub?
Yeah, I think that's enough on Dragon Ball Fighters. Overall, it's a fantastic game. It's one of my favorite games of 2018.
Okay.
I think it's if it weren't for Smash Ultimate coming out, this would be my multiplayer game of the year.
Yeah.
But,
Okay, that's a question.
It doesn't help in your case, Hub, that the only other people who have the game that you can play with are me and Nick.
Yeah, that's true. But what is it, Harry?
No, I was gonna ask then, like, what would Smash be your guys' like multiplayer game of the year, or would something else?
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
be.
Okay.
All right, then that's it. Then Harry, I think since Joey's not here anymore, I guess your turn.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess we're just doing game of the year material right now. So let's do Spider-Man. This
Oh boy, I just got done talking about one game I like. Here's another one.
yeah, this is
Fuck time to save
I haven't even finished it yet.
okay. We'll leave spoilers to a minimum. Have spoilers to a minimum.
General gameplay though, my god, it's so fun.
Yeah, this is the best.
Fucking fun.
This is the best Spider-Man game pretty much ever, and it's my choice for single-player game of the year because there's so much to do. I really love the story, and it feels like an actual like Spider-Man story, and it doesn't feel like cheesy or overdone or anything like that. They did a really good job, like capturing the just these characters and their personalities really well, and
Joey Lowenthal, you are amazing.
yeah, and it I actually felt for the characters. Like I wanted because this isn't really much of a spoiler because you know from the start that Doc Ock's gonna become a thing, but the way the story is done makes you really not want it to happen, and I really love how they did that. and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know, like just
Sorry.
I just love what they did with the game. Like the world's really fun to explore. The web slinging is basically perfect. There's a lot of just variation you can get out of the combat. The only minor complaint I really have is that I wish there was more diversity with the regular combos, like animations, because you do see the same like kicks and stuff a lot, but besides that, I really love what they did with everything in the game.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so now it's my turn, and this is gonna be a long fucking thing with me,
Yeah.
because I am the Spider-Man person here, and I've been playing Spidey games for many years now, ever since I became a fan of this character 15 years ago. Some of them have been really good, some of them underrated, some of them overrated, and some of them are just outright shit, so it's all over
Yeah.
the place. It's
Yeah.
all over the place when it came to Spidey games, and
Better than
Spidey-
Superman can
didn't
say.
help, it also didn't help that the last Spider-Man game before this one was the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That was not a good game.
Yeah.
That was not a good game.
It's probably the only Spider-Man games. The only one I play are Marvel Spider-Man and PS1.
But basically, anyway, this game was announced 2016, and I knew it wasn't going to be like any previous Spidey game because Insomniac was making the game, and there were rumors of a new Spider-Man game being announced for that show, and I did not know Insomniac was making it, and I knew from the get-go this was not going to be anything remotely close to how Spidey games usually worked because I grew complacent to just expecting a Spidey game every couple of years or every year and all that. And with this game being a AAA game, being developed and all that, it's clear that it wasn't going to be the same. And
Right.
I waited for this game anxiously ever since it was announced. Especially since we're in a Spider-Man Renaissance right now because he has he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and he's well received there. We have Into the Spider-Verse and all that. The comics have been getting it back on track. And then we have this game. And
Yeah.
essentially, when this game released, I played it the whole weekend and I platinumed it that weekend.
Yeah. I can
I
attest.
cannot tell you how awful.
I can attest to this.
All of us here can attest to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not tell you how terrible it was that I had to go to school that Friday because I was like, I just want to play my game.
Yeah,
And-
like seriously,
oh,
like,
man.
help us so into the game that he would not be in the call for several days.
And I love the
No,
little. I
need
love.
to finish it, man.
And I love the little things that just add some world building, like the little backpacks you get, and Peter just kind of talks about it, and it's just nice little world building where it's just
Yeah, it gives context to the Spider-Man.
yeah, because this is a new
lot of
universe.
Spidey interpretations these days, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe one, for example, tends to start him off in his early years, whereas the PS4 game starts him off relatively. He's not super late into his career, but he's been Spider-Man for 8 years, so he's fairly experienced.
24 now?
He's 23 by the time the game starts.
Oh, okay. That's
And,
crappy.
Yeah, he's crappy. We're just
Hello.
we're just talking about Spider-Man
Oh.
now
Oh, hi, Scrappy.
on the
Yeah.
games of 2018.
Congratulations.
But back onto the Spider-Man. I think one of my favorite parts of the game is actually when you start off, like the first 2 minutes of the game, because we get all these details about this Peter Parker and stuff with,
Yeah.
with the room, and then the game starts you right off swinging because they knew
I
you
love
wanted
that.
right away.
I love that.
Yeah.
They didn't bother doing
Right,
it like. Hmm?
Yeah, it's not like Arkham Asylum where it's like a 10-minute cutscene. You can't a 10-minute interactable cutscene you can't skip,
Yeah.
which makes repeat playthroughs of that game annoying.
Mm.
Here, it's just 2 minutes of cutscene. Your go. Yeah.
Yeah, just start to swing off straight off to go confront Fisk.
I love
Yeah.
that because it goes like, okay, yeah, we know you don't want to have like a really long intro sequence about like who
If you know-
Spider-Man
you
is
know
or what.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
starts this
you
game.
like you know why you bought this game. You want to swing around and like and do
Yeah.
all that stuff. So that just
Wanna
go
be
right into
Spider-Man.
it. You want to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, and the swinging is great because
Yeah.
as much as I love the complex swinging mechanics of Spider-Man 2 on the PS2 and stuff, that game had some jankiness to the swinging, and it
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
always work sometimes, especially when you try to do some of the more complex techniques like orbiting and shit. That was fucking
Yeah.
hard to
It,
do.
it got,
and it was
when I
so
started
jank.
Well, yeah, when I started trying to do like the optional challenges, some of them like ask for really over the top tricks and stuff, and I just couldn't do it to a point.
They wanted you to do stuff that only Spider-Man in reality could actually do.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
but
Or
the real skill of the game is in the combat because
Yeah.
swinging is relatively simple. I mean, it's your way of maneuvering, so I'm okay with that. It's the
And you do the
combat that, yeah, which you don't need.
Hmm.
You don't need that, but on the combat, at first I was getting my ass kicked because I was expecting this to be like Arkham, because
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 was like that,
that.
but it's
Yeah.
not because you're more flexible, you have more gadgets you could use, and you go down a lot faster.
Yeah, you're a lot more agile, and then you can't get hit as much.
I think it's evident enough just in the fact that you can like shoot the webbing balls while you're on the move.
Yeah.
Not to mention, this game has a focus meter to where you can use it to either heal yourself or you can use it to take out a guy in one hit.
I love that. It's a nice like risk versus reward system.
Yeah, it's not like the Amazing Spider-Man games where the first one you had regenerating health, and then the second one you had a heal button, so all you have to do was just hide for a second, heal, and then go back in the fight. You don't do that in this game because you don't gain much focus just by swinging. You gain some, but you don't gain as much as if you were like fighting and stuff.
Right.
And I feel like the late game really tests you on that, especially if you play on the ultimate mode, which is what I did on my second run of the game.
Hmm.
Because I'm that dedicated to it.
Yeah.
But
I hit a button by accident.
but there's the what is it? Like there's costumes, and you get a lot of suits in this game.
Yeah, it's fun
When
just
you get
switching out. It's fun
yeah,
switching out. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah, sorry, like, cause like I kind of want to like, I like how like you get the suits and they have their own powers, but you
Yeah.
can put the power on any suit.
Yeah, I love that. Like,
not every suit has its own power. Like the DLC
Right.
suits don't have suit powers, but I think
Okay,
that
yeah,
it's cool that you
Yeah.
don't, that you're not limited on
Yeah.
abilities because of the suit you wear.
Like, you
It feels
can-
very customizable, and I
Yeah.
love that.
yeah, you can like get a suit and then like just take the ability you get from it and then just put your the suit you were
Yeah,
just wearing back on.
When you get a suit, you basically get two things. You get a cosmetic and you get a power up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool. I love that. They,
Yeah, I pretty
yeah.
much.
Red block breaks the game.
Yeah, that is broken. But I mainly just used the Stark suit from Spider-Man: Homecoming as my main suit, just because I love that suit so much.
I didn't really
Oh,
have
yeah.
a main suit.
I use that one too.
I don't really have a main suit per se. I kind of like just switching around every so often.
And then the Sam Raimi suit came out, and that's one of the suits I used the most.
I was gonna say, like, including that one. What do you think is your favorite DLC suit?
That one by far. That one.
Fan service. And I love how they just
Okay.
gave it to us.
Yeah.
The Raimi suit and. There's a suit in one of the DLCs called the Aaron Eggman suit, which is pretty much, it looks like a Mega Man suit.
Sorry, I'm getting a my sausage dog.
Now I want to look this up. What's it called?
Aaron Eggman?
Aaron.
It looks like a Mega Man Battle Network suit in some ways, especially with the arms and legs.
Get off
But
the code.
AIKMAN.
yeah.
Let's see.
But in terms of actual issues I have with the game, the stealth sections weren't great.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Mega Man.
Yeah, the stealth sections
those
were
weren't great.
meh.
They're not. I don't think
They're not
terrible.
bad. They're not
because They're
bad.
not that hard, but they feel kind of awkwardly
Yeah.
placed.
I do like that they gave like Mary Jane and or like
Miles.
Miles like something to do in gameplay, but
Yeah, but
it wasn't the
some of
best.
them, I feel like the best stealth sections are the ones that give you more story context.
Yeah, yeah.
Because some of them were just, some of them I felt like they didn't need to be there, but some of them I felt needed to be. Like the last Mary Jane one, I felt was necessary.
Yeah.
What about the Miles one?
The first Miles one was necessary.
Yeah.
The other two were not. Okay, the other two weren't as much. I felt in terms of the story.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the first one was actually really important. That's the way you.
Yeah.
That's how you end, isn't it?
That's how you end Act 1.
Yeah, that's like where that was like one of the major points where I like started to really get invested.
Yeah, I was like,
This game's story is
I remember during my reaction.
The story it feels like an actual like Spider-Man movie, really.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like another Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Like you could make it a movie.
Pretty much. Yeah, you can make it a
No,
movie.
it's another big universe.
Yeah.
It's really important. It's like it really shows why the Marvel stamp is on it.
Yeah.
Like, I won't spoil much of the story. I won't spoil the story, but goddamn, that fucking ending left me in shock. Just because I was not expecting it. That was the last thing I fucking expected out of this game's story.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 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 It hits.
That shit hit me. I was like,
It hits you hard.
fuck, they just went there.
It hits you hard.
That feeling when you think they weren't gonna go there and oh fuck they went there, shit, fuck, help.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, the ending is really good.
Fantastic ending.
I guess I'll throw on the story. We can also talk about the character voice and the voicing performance.
It's great. It's great.
It's fantastic.
Would you say he's the best Spider-Man?
Given his performance in this game, it's like Josh Keaton from the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon was like such a good voice for Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but Jesus Christ, Yuri Lowenthal's material in this game was
What's Josh Keating Spidey in the Marvel games?
He was Spider-Man in Shattered Dimensions, Edge of Time, and Marvel's Capcom 3.
Alright.
Web swing!
Yeah, that was him.
Web swing?
Yeah, but then Yuri Lowenthal's performance in this game, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Sometimes Yuri Lowenthal just comes in and just goes so hard that you're just like, okay, but you didn't have to go that hard. Why?
He's like, yeah, he's like, he nailed it.
Yeah,
like,
so
especially at like the like just the
ending bit,
the last act of the game, like that is, it's like you just want to keep playing because like you want to see what happens, and I love that. That's like the best thing I think a game's story can do, like making you want to keep playing just to see what happens because you're so invested in it.
Does it end on a cliffhanger?
Huh?
It has cliffhangers. It has cliffhangers, but I feel like you get a complete story.
Yeah, you get a complete story from it.
Oh, by the way, just random ass question: is there a post-credit scene?
Yeah. Yes.
There's two of them.
It's a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it really is a Marvel movie.
I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, it really is a Marvel movie.
I know you guys even if Into the Spider-Verse wasn't, it's not an official Marvel movie, is it?
It's its own thing.
Yeah, even that has a post-credit scene for humorous effect.
Yeah.
It's basically like it may as well just be a cinema norm at this point.
Yeah. But I won't say what that is.
Right.
But it was there's also DLC. The City Never Sleeps. I got it for free because I bought the $150 collector's edition because I'm not dedicated enough to Spider-Man. But I thought it was pretty. It came with a steel case for the game. It came with free DLC, and it came with a statue, a Spider-Man statue.
Nice.
Is it of the new suit?
it has the new suit, and it has. I'll show you a picture of it later.
All right.
But the suit that never sleeps. It's pretty good for what it is. It's basically a 10-hour epilogue when you count all 3 parts into it. It's basically a bridge between this game and the inevitable sequel that's coming out.
Does it also tie in with one of the side missions?
Kind of. Well, yeah, sort of. But I think they're pretty good. You get new challenges, you get more story bits, you get new suits. One of the suits is actually the. Bless you.
Thank you. I tried to do it, but I couldn't get there in time.
One of the new suits you get is actually the Into the Spider-Verse suit.
Yeah, I kind of want to get a City Never Sleeps just for that.
Yeah, just for the Into the Spider-Verse thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think that was my movie of 2018 as well.
But I do think that. I mean, the costumes themselves are quite good if you're a Spidey fan. Some of them I wasn't too impressed by, like Turf Wars' costume pack didn't impress me much.
Wasn't it like this dark green, red or black one?
Dark red and black?
No, green and black. I forgot what it was.
Big times. It was the big time suit.
Yeah.
That's one that you get in the game normally. That's not a DLC suit.
One of my favorite ones is the homemade suit that I think you get that
From
one from
Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the hoodie.
Yeah.
I love that suit. I don't think that gives you a power.
No, it doesn't. It's you get that from getting all the backpacks, which I thought was a nice reference to Spider-Man Homecoming, where he and Aunt May are at that restaurant, and he tells Aunt May, I need a new backpack, and she just responds, that's the 5th one this year. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wait, how did you get the, what's it called? How do you get the Homecoming suit again?
The Stark suit?
Yeah.
You just need to get to level 10.
Oh, right.
It doesn't take long to do it, but, they recently added 2 more suits to the game, which is, because of the Fantastic Four stuff. They added the Bombastic Bagman.
Wait, is that the one where Spider-Man has the bag on his head, no shoes, and he's wearing a Fantastic Four thing?
Yes, he has the bag on his head, but he has boots on. He has boots on for this one. And he also has then there's the Future Foundation, which is a white and black suit.
When I get back to the game, I'm putting the bombastic bag suit on.
Bombastic Bagman, yeah.
That's amazing.
White and black, but it sounds kind of weird.
I don't really care for the suit's design, but a lot of people like it, and it's Fantastic Four related, so they put it in there. And it's free too. Those suits are free. Those suits are free, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like the regular suit.
Yeah. The Sam Raimi suit was a Christmas gift.
That was a Christmas gift, and it also caused a lot of outrage because people are babies.
Oh, Christmas suit! Oh, Christmas suit!
Wait, why cause an outrage?
Because people... Okay, just to get on this real quick. The Sam Raimi suit was one of the most requested suits of the game because the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy has such a big following.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't in the base game, but we were getting DLC, so people had hope that it would be in the DLC. It was not, and after the 3rd DLC part got its costumes revealed, and it wasn't there, people got pissed. People were making all kinds of accusations about Insomniac not knowing what the fans want, saying that the new suits were garbage,
oh,
all this stupid stuff. And then, no joke, a week later, the Raimi suit came out. And Insomniac basically, it was basically said that Insomniac had been working on the Raimi suit for months because the suits in this game are incredibly detailed, and they have a lot of work put into them.
Down to a small stitch, or like if you looking at the contacts of the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they made the Raimi suit look damn good in this game.
Yeah, while we're on that, it's just more of a personal thing. I'm not that big a fan of the. Well, I like the new. What's the white suit called again? The main suit.
the advanced suit.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about the advanced suit is the feet.
You don't like that he's wearing shoes.
Yeah, no,
I
yeah,
actually
it doesn't-
really like the white suit.
I do like the advanced suit, just except the shoes. It just looks weird. It just kind of like
You just don't see Spider-Man wearing shoes.
well, yeah, it sticks out. It kind of it clashes a little bit,
I guess.
Yeah, I get that.
just a little bit.
But still, just to wrap up this discussion, this game is Spider-Man was my game of the year last year, just because I had such a fun time playing it. I loved nearly everything about it.
Yeah.
I really couldn't have asked for a better Spider-Man game
Same.
from Insomniac, because like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game was a game I tried to like so much, but it just left me bummed. I was like, wow, if this is the type of Spidey game we're gonna get from now on, they might as well stop making them, because they just weren't good. And then this game comes along, and comparing Spider-Man in the last 2 or 3 years compared to Spider-Man like in 2012 to 2014 is such a weird experience.
Yeah.
Because this character got basically shit material for 3 straight years, and then the last 3 years we got the MCU version, we got this game, we got Into the Spider-Verse. The comics have been a lot better lately. Jesus Christ, we're in a fucking Spider-Man renaissance, and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Yeah, and again, like this.
The Spidey gods were like, here, we're sorry for all the shit we put you through.
This is more than making up for the Ultimate cartoon. Yeah.
Bite me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like again, this and Smash Ultimate are my games of the year, easily.
Yeah, but that's not all because since I'm next, another game that I really enjoyed this year. This is another game that I was really looking forward to, was Mega Man 11.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, this game. Yeah. This was a game I was looking forward to since it was announced, and I didn't even know that a Mega Man 11 was possible, because it seemed like Capcom, in hindsight, the 7-year break that the Mega Man series had was a good thing. Just because there were so many Mega Man games coming out, not a lot of them were selling too great. And you had Keiji Inafune, who was the producer of the franchise for so long. He left. And they basically had to cancel so many Mega Man games, Legends 3 being the hardest hitting one. Fans hated Capcom for a long time. And then my number 9 was a disaster. That was basically a broken dream. And then Capcom was like, hey, people want more Mega Man games, so we're gonna make Mega Man 11. And I remember, when it was announced, I was in school. I was getting done with a test. So, after my test, I check my phone, I look up videos on YouTube, and the first thing that came up was from Game Explain, Mega Man 11 reveal trailer.
Dang.
And at that moment, I had to wonder if I was the sole survivor of another universe, and I just didn't know it. I was somehow transferred to a good universe.
Oh,
Yeah, I had to wonder that.
oh, that's
because
amazing.
I couldn't believe it. And
is this real life or is this just fantasy?
yeah, right. And the game came out in October. It was pretty late in the year, and I really enjoyed my time with it.
That's good.
This is one of my favorite Mega Man games, and this is one of my favorite classic games in the series. 3 and 7 are still my 2 favorite games in the classic series, but I feel like Mega Man 11 is a good step forward after not having games for so many years, and taking what worked in the previous games and what shortcomings they had and improving on it. I think 11 did that very well, I feel.
Then play Mega Man. Someone was trying to speak. What was someone trying to say?
I didn't say anything.
No, I didn't say anything.
I didn't play Mega Man 11 because, as you know, I don't actually play video games anymore. Smash Ultimate is my game of the year, by the way.
Okay.
I'll get to that later, I guess.
We already talked about Smash.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, if you wanna go by now, do you wanna just talk about Smash now? Like just your thoughts?
Great game. I don't think I don't have much else to say. Actually, best game with the worst fandom of 2018. Give the award to that game.
Yeah?
That's good.
But back to Mega Man 11. This is a game I beat twice on the same day it came out. And
Impressive.
yeah, and to talk about the new gear system. The classic Mega Man games have had this thing where they have like a gimmick for each game. Or some of the
Right.
games, like Mega Man 6 had the rush adapters. Mega Man 8 had the Mega Ball and stuff. This one has the gear system, and the gear system is basically kind of like a newcomer's way of getting into the game because you have the speed gear, which slows things down, makes things easier to dodge, and then you have the power gear, which enhances your weapons. And I mainly use the power gear for special weapons because of how good those can be. They're not required to beat the game, but I do use them, and the game encourages that you use them.
Especially on the bosses.
Yeah, but
Yellow Devil was a mistake.
I thought the gear system was done well. It's not intrusive. That was one thing I was worried about, if it was going to be intrusive.
Like, if they forced it upon you?
Like, if they forced it, or... Yeah, they forced that upon you, which they don't, which is good. The special weapons are very good. These are some of the best weapons in the classic Mega Man series. Some of my favorites are Bounce Ball, Tundra Storm, especially the Power Gear version, Acid Barrier. I'm trying to think of other weapons I really liked in this game. Looking at the Robot Master list. Power Driver was actually quite good too. Power Gear, Chain Blast was good as well. Block Dropper and Block Dropper, Blazing Torch, and Scramble Thunder were fine. They weren't the best. They were fine. Other than that, I thought the weapons were good. Level design was quite solid. People have complained about the checkpoint starvation and how long some of the levels are. And I feel like for the first few times I played the game, I agreed that this checkpoint starvation was a bit much. Yeah. Upon further playthroughs, it's not as bad. That's probably because I played the game so much. But even then, they're a bit on the far side. I don't know if I'd say it's overly punishing. Maybe on the first couple of runs, maybe, but Mega Man games are meant to be replayed, so it gets easier. So it's not as bad on future runs. Although that's on normal mode. If you want to have more checkpoints, I recommend playing casual mode. I'm trying to think of
Do you think it's also a good starting place?
Do I think this is a good starting place?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, since there are multiple difficulty options, yes. I do think Mega Man 11 is a fairly good starting point. There are obviously games like 2 and 10 I think are good starting points as well. But I think 11's a good starting point. And to praise Mega Man 11 for one thing, Mega Man finally has the charge shot and the slide back, which I fucking did not like that they got rid of from Mega Man 9 and 10. At least for Mega Man. Yeah, and this game actually has modern graphics. Thank God for that.
I'm not against the
8-bit.
Yeah, but yeah, it's nice to see something new.
Yeah, it's nice to see something new, and I feel like the series needed to move forward at some point because they couldn't rely on nostalgia forever.
Yeah.
So they had to move forward, and I think the game itself is not. I wouldn't call Mega Man 11 a AAA game. It's fairly low budget for Capcom standards. But I think it looks pretty good for what it's setting out to do. Yeah, it looks good for what it's setting out to do. I think the voice acting is quite decent. It's not amazing, it's decent, it's serviceable.
I do like Ben
People
Diskin.
Yeah, good old
Yeah,
Ben
bring back-
Diskin.
Van Diskin's alright for Mega Man.
Canadian voice actors for the Mega Man games.
Yeah.
Mega
Yeah,
Man
considering this
design is-
franchise's history with voice acting, Mega Man 11's voice acting is fucking godlike.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Fast.
I like the updated looks of everybody. Like Mega Man has kind of a bit of a Smash look.
He has I call it the Mega Man 11 look for Mega Man. I feel is kind of taking the look from Mega Man 8 and his Smash look and kind of combining elements of the two.
It's like
Yeah,
it's like
'cause he-
it's like a baby.
A lot more slender.
Yeah, he's a lot more slim and he has more detailing, like the plates that his Smash counterpart has.
Yeah.
He's still
what else?
small boyo. He's still small boyo.
Yeah, he's still small boyo.
Mm.
Like also in terms of like redesigns, I also love I also love like Roll's design. It's probably my favorite one.
Yeah, I think Roll's design in this game is another mix between her Mega Man 8 and her other game counterparts.
Yeah, my favorite part's the hood.
Oh yeah, I didn't know she had a hood.
Yeah, there
Sure,
was
the
in her concept in the concept shots she has a little hood.
Hmm.
I
did
think
not know
so.
that.
I think so. It's in the bot at least. I think the picture's in the bot.
I think it's quite good.
I think we see what I'm talking about if you take a look.
I think
Yeah, this one.
where is it?
Is that a-
Take a look. I don't know. I think that might be a hood. Yeah, I think it's
It looks
good
good,
design
but
for Roll.
if it is, it works.
Yeah, I think it's a good design for Roll. But
Yeah.
I
Especially
think
like I like how the
people
fur in her butt.
talk about one last thing about Mega Man 11 because there's not a whole lot to talk about with this game. Is the music, and this is a soundtrack that grew on me over time because this game has a techno soundtrack because the composer of the Star Force games worked on it, and for classic Mega Man, techno is kind of an odd choice. I mean, this isn't the first time the classic series has done that because Mega Man 8 did it. Except, I think this game does it better than Mega Man 8 because the music feels a bit more distinct than Mega Man 8's. I do think they have the same problem of blending in together, because I had some music like Blast Man's theme took me a while to finally remember. But I think it has some great themes, like I love Blockman's theme, Fuseman's theme is the best track in the game. Torchman's theme is quite good. The Wily Castle theme is quite good as well. Kind of disappointed that they went the Mega Man 5 and 6 route and had it only be the only song that played in the castle.
Yeah.
Because I liked Mega Man 7 through 10 having its theme for each stage.
Yeah, that's more of a nitpick, right?
Yeah, that's a nitpick, but I'm not gonna say it's the best Mega Man soundtrack because it's not. But I do think it's it's not as bad as some people say it is, but I don't think it's amazing. But yeah, I think Mega Man 11 was another game that I really enjoyed. Like, I think Spider-Man, this, and Smash were the games I was looking forward to the most this year, and those ended up being my favorite games of the year.
Yeah, that seems fair. Yep.
Plus, we're getting more Mega Man games, so you know it's glad for me because I'm a Mega Man guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mega Man X9 better fucking happen, Capcom. Make the dream real.
Yeah. While we're on that, I'm glad the X collection came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause like say what you will about the quality aim, but more people need to experience them.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that's all I have to say about Mega Man 11. It's a great game. I really like
2D
it.
X9 baby, says Nova.
2D, yeah, X9 boy. X9 needs to happen.
X9, 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 please, please, for God's sake,
We need
please.
to know what happens to Axel,
Yeah.
Ah!
and hopefully make
Sorry.
it good.
Yeah.
Don't.
Alright.
Just please don't hurt the baby boy. I don't want him to be hurt.
And make And poof up Zero's hair again.
Yes, fix his fucking hair. Make it beautiful like it
Bring
was
back
before.
Navigator
Navigator
waifus.
waifus.
Dagnabbit.
Yes, bring back Navigator waifus, please. Fuck.
Yeah. That's
And
Sorry,
don't bring
please
the
do
guy
what
from Marvel.
now?
yeah,
Hey, if you want to make the scene on Navigators playable, at least put the boys in the Navigator position like you were gonna do with XA and you didn't do it.
That Canadian voice actor. Cowards.
Okay, that's all I have to say for Mega Man 11.
Alright, who's
I
next?
had some.
Go ahead.
Who's next? I think. Alright.
Let's try it. Go ahead.
Just had just a few scare shots about Mega Man 11. Earlier, and pardon me if I'm treading on his material, but and looks new again.
Yeah.
This looks like an actual evolution for the first time since Mega Man 8. Mega Man and Base, really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, for Mega Man 9, it has been so long since the classic game came out that they went back to 8-bit for nostalgia's sake.
Right.
And even New Super Mario Bros. Tried to look relatively contemporary. I mean, you don't have to like the style, but at least try.
Yeah, try to look like an evolution of 2D Mario, at least.
Right.
You're talking about the new series?
Yeah.
Yeah, new Super Mario Bros.
Yeah. Carry on.
I'm trying to stay awake.
Yeah, I think we should stop soon because it's getting really late. Because again, we don't have to do this in one go. We can continue another time. Because I still got a lot of games on my list to get to.
Oh shit.
I was pumped, and now I'm just like, all this talking is making me tired.
I think that's enough for now because
I
fuck,
think-
we got through so many games.
Well, how?
And we talked
Well,
about some of them at length.
I think we should at least go down the list. Because we haven't like given everyone like the.
Everybody should at least 2 games, I think.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we've just gone like midway through this one.
I think
Alright, so
it's Maddie. I think it's Maddie's turn now.
I was gonna talk about Spyro.
Oh,
Okay.
that's gonna.
Yeah, that's...
I think we should. I think.
do that next time.
I think Spyro should be next time because that's gonna take a while.
We have to remember that the next time we go, Maddie has to go first.
Okay.
If I can
Yeah,
make
Maddie has
it.
to go first.
Do you have?
Yeah, she can-
Would you have a smaller game you can talk about, Maddie?
Sorry.
I could talk about I know it's a couple of years old, but I could talk about Stardew Valley.
Yeah, as long as you start playing, as long as it's a game you played this year, it's fine.
Yeah.
Or not this year, last year.
2018.
Yeah.
I know Stardew Valley is a couple of years old, and I played a little bit when it first came out, and then I stopped, and then after all the updates and stuff, it's a fun little indie game. Even if you aren't into farming simulators, it's one of those ones that you could just pick up and relax to, and just have a little bit of fun. You can just pick up anytime you want to play it again. I will recommend it because the soundtrack is good, the premise is good. It's one of those like it's one of those stories like you hate listening to, but it's like nature versus capitalism, and like sometimes you're just like, oh my god, we hate that shit, but it's not really the main focus of the game. I mean, yeah, your life was miserable, but go out and live in the fucking mountains and run a farm. Become part of the community and stuff like that. Get married. There's same-sex marriage in this game. That also
Nice.
gives it a bonus. Exactly. It's fun. In terms of certain hard events, it can tackle some really deep stuff. Like, holy shit. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but god damn, you will get the feelings, and you will catch the feelings, and the feelings will never go away. Oh boy.
Feelings. My feelings.
Feel me. But
Feel me.
if you want to pick up Stardew Valley, even if it's a couple years old, I still recommend it. It's fun. That's all I got to say on. That's all I got to say on Stardew Valley. It's great.
Alright. Alright, anyone else got?
Everything's
No,
fine
I
for
think
me.
we all. I think. Wait, did you do 2 games, Jason? No, you took
Oh, I
fire.
took-
Wait, that's all you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, what have I else have I played? Hold on, I'm actually gonna look at my PlayStation thing now. Cause I got a lot of games and looking through my library. What did I play last year?
I know you played a shit ton of 14 last year.
Well, I think I started in 2017.
No, but you picked it up. You picked it up. You picked it up after the update last year.
Yeah.
You picked it back up.
Yeah. Yeah. If I started it last year, then that would have been something else.
That's pretty much all I've known that you've played, though.
Well, I've
Because
been
my
playing.
memory.
Well, I've been playing a little less lately. Fuck. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
If Xavier were here, we'd talk about Kirby Star Allies, but I want to wait for that.
I have that on my list, but I'm saving that.
Yeah, I'm saving that because we need the Kirby boy here to really properly talk about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't really have much to say about it on my own.
Right.
About all the games that got delayed.
No, that's another topic entirely.
Yeah. Can this count? Can this count? Cause like when I started Xenoblade Chronicles 2, like I didn't get far until I picked it up. Like I only played like an hour, and then I actually like in 2018 continued it.
Yeah, that's fair because I technically didn't finish. I technically started Xenoblade 1 last year, but I finished it. Well, not last year,
I mean,
but 27.
like I didn't really get far enough to really call it a start in you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I finished Xenoblade 1 last year, and yeah, I put that on my list. So yeah, I think it's fair enough.
No, honestly, I don't think that's a big thing to talk about because it's
Huge
it's way too big. It's way too story reliant for me to talk about.
I'm trying to think of another game.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
What have you played, Scrappy? Then.
Oh, sorry, Scrappy. I'm very sorry, Scrappy.
What have you played, Scrappy?
Smash Brothers.
I would have talked about Duelist with the Roses, but I don't know how that fit into anything.
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. Oh, okay. World.
Yes.
Okay.
And Generations Ultimate.
Okay. Those are games
It's
I'm
like-
interested in trying.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys first. Are any of you guys interested in the Monster Hunter series at all?
I'm interested in
I have to dedicate some time to it.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the games, but I'm interested in them.
I'll tell you guys this right now. If you're gonna play this game, play with friends.
Yeah.
Friends.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
What if you don't have friends?
Because like some of the later monsters can get it really wants you to play with others. It's just more fun that way in general. Because there's some kind of like cathartic thrill just from going out in the middle of the hunt, especially in World. If I can recommend to you guys more anything, get Monster Hunter World on PlayStation on PS4.
PS4.
Yeah, because it's one big world. Each of the maps are one big. There's no loading screens in between the sections, which is normally something that Monster Hunter does. But because Monster Hunter World breaks a lot of traditions in order to make a more streamlined game.
Right.
While still keeping what made the games good, because it's the most beginner-friendly Monster Hunter game. I can tell you that. I'm still not that far in, but I played quite a little bit of that and Generations Ultimate to say I really want to play more Monster Hunter, but like I've been so caught with other games that I haven't been able to go back that much.
I have this issue, of
Okay,
just.
maybe they're growing. I'll warn you now.
Yeah, I just have this issue recently where I just take so long to finish new games. Like, I know. Well, it's an RPG. It's an RPG, so this is I guess I can give myself like some leeway, but it took me like what, a year and a half to beat Xenoblade.
It's a really big game, to be fair.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I need to kind of pick up the pace a little bit.
I think you saw that like for a whole month at least at one point.
Yeah, I do kind of need to be in the right mindset to play an RPG, but
And
either
trust me,
way.
you're gonna need some outside help just to help you understand some stuff in Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Right. But
Cause my
yeah.
god, the game's tutorials are really bad in 2.
I've heard as much.
They're vague beyond belief. And so yeah, like either look it up or let me help you. Anyways, cause like yeah, there's all different kinds of weapons. There's no one way to play into the hunts. Like it's in World especially, it's really fun. It's really interesting like watching the monsters like interact with each other, like they're actual like animals.
Mm.
Cause like they had their own territory, they had their own movement patterns, they had every beast.
Ah.
That's what it really like. It's really immersive in the hunt.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
each one has their own. And each one has their own. You know, something unique about them. Like down to their name or down to their. There's a reason why Rathalos is one of the most well-known monsters.
Yeah.
He's a
Looks
big
like-
fucking pointy dragon.
He's also known as the King of the Jungle.
Oh.
He's the big. He's like the monster in when it comes to the jungle setting in the games. In fact, oh actually, is it okay if I share stories?
Sure.
Alright.
One time I was playing with someone in my Splatoon 2 squads. I was playing with her boyfriend because you know he was helping me learn the basics, right?
Right.
We were doing one of the main story missions, and to go after the Puke, and so, while we're observing the monster, suddenly Rathalos comes on down and interrupts us in the middle of our hunt.
Hi.
Fuck me!
Hey boys, how's it going?
Bravo was just like, sup, bitch. Bet you
I was
thought
like,
you
really?
didn't see me.
I was like, really?
That's amazing.
Rathalos.
Yeah, so like,
Rudy,
we decided to cut our main hunt short in order to aim for a bit, just to go after Rathalos.
Yeah, suddenly Rathalos, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and first of all, I'm glad we did that because it got me some early armor for my Palico.
Hmm.
But which are the cats. Hang on a second.
And thus Jason died.
No. Sorry, dog antics. So we went at, so we decided to go out the Rathalos, but because I was like level 1, he was a hunter rank. I was like hunter rank 1. He was like hunter rank 11.
Oh, excuse me.
So it was really fun. Oh no, actually I think his hunter rank was like 6 or something, which is still which is still much higher than mine. So, but like, I was just basically shooting at it with arrows, doing like 1 damage while he was doing the main work.
Chip damage,
Good damage. I was helping.
Oh
But it
man.
was like interesting watching Rathalos' pattern and all that, because like the fact that he interrupted our hunt, he wasn't attacking us; he was after our prey. So it just
Bitch
kind
was
of.
hungry. He was hungry. He was
Yeah,
hangry. Hungry
Yeah,
and angry.
we were just like no, so we just fought back.
Oops. Yeah.
Like,
and
I'm
at
trying
that moment,
to-
I learned how to dodge like a man. Trust me, that stuff it does in Smash Brothers is kind of legit, especially the poison claws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has very really beefy health bar in Smash.
Makes you appreciate Rathalos in Smash, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say I really like because I play Monster Hunter. I was actually able to like when Rathalos was revealed to be a thing. I was like, oh, awesome!
And I mean, if a Monster Hunter character, like a hunter, got into Smash's DLC, like they already have a boss for him.
Yeah, and it's all and actually the Marvel's Capcom Infinite actually has Monster Hunter, doesn't it?
I think
Yeah,
so.
it
Yeah.
does. Yeah, it does.
Right.
Man, I can't wait for Nintendo versus Capcom if this is what we're gonna get.
Mm.
Fun waiting,
I
Hub.
would play the shit out of that.
That'd be-
Boy's got.
Kerboy is goddamn fuck.
Yeah.
I'd
fair
be.
point.
Yeah.
I approve.
I'll settle for Shonen Jump versus Capcom.
Yeah, me too. I love that.
Yes! Oh my god!
Are you orgasming right now?
Mhm.
I cease to exist. I have got to a higher plane of existence. I have a headache. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Capcom,
Yeah, I
companies
recommend
Capcom can fight next time.
I
Hmm.
do recommend Monster Hunter to you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Monster Hunter World and Generations Ultimate and Monster Hunter World are the two ones I want to get at some point.
I get World because it's the most beginner friendly.
That's the
'Cause,
one
like,
I'm probably gonna. That's the one I'm probably gonna start with.
When I got World, I got Generations Ultimate because the Squid Squad also had it, so I wanted to play with everybody on the Switch.
Right.
But I didn't realize. I knew how different the other games were, but it makes you miss World a little bit. Not saying it's bad. It's just makes you miss it.
Yeah, I've heard like in terms of like content, Gen's Ultimate is probably the best.
Yeah, in fact, there's even there's a bunch of cool little like costumes you can get for like your Palico and all. Oh, in fact, Maddie will love this. Back then in the other game, in the original version, they had like deals where you can get with like collab products where you can get like Zelda costumes and all that. One of them was a Yu-Gi-Oh costume.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
It was
no.
the dark.
You get
It was
So
the
you
dark
can get the
magician,
dark
but it
magician.
wasn't one of my. It wasn't one of
Yeah,
my
it was the one
favorite
from the
dark magician
movie.
designs. It was
It
the
was
one
the one
from the
from the
Dark
movie.
Side of Dimensions movie, who I like to call Swole
Magician.
Magician because he's very thick.
yeah, it's the black.
He's so beef that I'm just like, no, go back to being purple.
But now just imagine on a little cat.
I'm his purple magician.
But yeah, that's what the Palico. Yeah, Palicos are basically your partners if you don't have multiplayer. But there you actually get. It's interesting. I think World is also probably one of the. It is probably the best Monster Hunter game because like you can also tell with like stuff like the collab project they have with Final Fantasy 14.
Right.
You know the one where they exchange Rathalos and the Behemoth.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Gross. Gross.
By the way,
gross.
Hold on. Rip Monster Hunter World, by the way, because they got the harder end of the deal.
I beg your fucking pardon. Stopping your healers from doing shit for a bit of the fight? Nah, fuck that noise.
It's a. Hey, what's that? It's called a gimmick.
Hey, what's that? I'm a healer and I don't want to suffer.
Then use a different class.
No. Because
Okay,
DPS
well,
destruction,
how about this? I
have
played newer in that fight, and you're still it's still important that you get rid of debuffs and all that.
Yeah, but you can't heal.
Anyways, without also that weird noise going on.
Sorry, I'm shaking something to put in my instant noodles.
Okay. It
I'm
sounds like
making lunch.
something else. Moving on.
I can't actually do that, Jason, because I don't have a penis.
First of all, the Rathalos fight in Final Fantasy 14 is actually really fun. Secondly, the Behemoth fight, Harry, you've seen what a Behemoth looks like. Are they in Final Fantasy 4? I forget.
Behemoths are.
I don't remember offhand.
Behemoths are usually in every Final Fantasy game known to date.
Yeah,
because they're pretty much a staple monster at this point.
I need to.
Behemoths are very big. They're
Our
very scary, and you don't
Big
touch them.
bipedal beast. and it loves to leap. It loves to leap at you, and it even casts freaking meteors.
I would have to see
Yeah,
a screenshot to
exactly.
remember. I don't remember.
Guy, Jesus Christ, I didn't know you were stroking. Jesus Christ. That's what
Like,
Maddie was stroking. Maddie was stroking a behemoth.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Thanks for the
Yeah.
follow, Caffeinated Yoshi.
but yeah, but that's not that you don't get you don't get to do behemoth until later because it's a really hard fight.
Hmm.
It's definitely collab. Like everybody works together. It's like you need to understand your strengths and weaknesses. Like prepare. It's like you're actually like preparing to do hunts. It feels. That's what I like about it. There's a lot of small things that make the big reward the more worth.
Caffeinated Yoshi, I'm just doing random online matches while we talk about games we played.
Anyway,
This isn't like a
Serious thing.
viewer match or whatever. This is
Anyway,
just so you guys have something to watch.
Yeah, I do. I think Monster Hunter World isn't like full price anymore as long as you ain't in stores. So at least at like those game stores. Because I got mine for like $30 at GameStop.
Hmm.
Which is pretty good.
$30 ain't so bad.
Yeah. But you do need PS Plus if you're gonna play on it.
Gross.
Well, it's kind of a given, to be fair.
Okay, yeah. Just to say, in the chat, I would totally be down to do like viewer matches in this game at some point, or just online and anything in general. I think that would be fun, but is that all we got now? Is there anyone else?
I got nothing else.
Nah, pick up done.
I think that's good.
This is
Yeah,
the
a lot covered.
This is the Switch version, by the way.
Delicious. Face me, God. You rambled on long enough.
Yeah.
Off topic, but I really want completely off topic, but Hub, like later, like can you do a little showcase of Adele?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, then once we're done, we can do that.
I guess the last thing I got it is a quick thing, but I played Nights into Dreams last year, and I thought it was a pretty fun little Sega arcade type game. Really short, and
Not as story driven as the sequel, because I can attest, because I've played both.
yeah.
The story's there, but it's kind of in the manual.
But I enjoyed it. I don't have much to say about it, but it's fun for at least one playthrough, I think.
Music's very good though,
Yeah.
for Saturn standards. It was popular enough at the time to get a Christmas version of the game, so
Oh yeah, I like that they did the Christmas version too. That was pretty cool.
Christmas into nights, nights into Christmas, Christmas into nights, whatever it's called.
Yeah. But I just wanted to bring that up quickly because I can just quickly do that in like a couple minutes. But that's all that's all I've got. Everything else will probably take too long.
Yeah.
So I guess after I finish this game, I'll probably stop the stream. So go ahead, I don't know, just talk about nonsense for a few minutes, I guess.
All right, I just finished. I guess I can say this. I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3 right now.
Yeah, that's yeah, and yeah, I was gonna say if the reason why we aren't I'm not talking about Puyo Puyo Tetris or Kingdom Hearts 3 is because those are 2019 games and they'll be covered like January.
Puyo Puyo Tetris is a 2017 game.
No, well we're talking about games like we played in the year, not necessarily like games not necessarily games that came out the year.
Oh, then I can talk about Crash.
No, like I could talk about a very
I guess
old
we can
game.
talk about future tense if you want.
Oh, I completely forgot that was the last year.
Do you want? I guess we can bring that up quickly.
I thought it was a great level. It really showed the who's his face?
Various Visions.
Vicarious Visions. I wanted to say Traveler's Tales. I don't know why. The
Because
Get it in the city.
it's Crash
With
4.
Insanity.
they did Crash 4 and Twin Sanity. But yeah,
I think what did you say, Jason?
Never mind.
yeah, but
Don't worry about Scrappy.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It gives me high hopes for what they could do if they made like a full original Crash game. And I honestly, like with the level design that Future Tense has, I think they can easily make a game superior to Crash 2 and 3. I think it's that good. And I don't know. I'm excited to see if they like plan to do something. I'm excited to see what they do with it. And it's already nice and challenging too.
Yeah.
Slip.
Well, its own death route and everything.
Yeah. It's really creative too. Like there's so many creative ideas. Like there's a point where you have to hit an enemy into a box in the background where you can only see through the mirror, and that is like genius design. I love it.
Yeah. That's like the only time it only happens once, but
Yeah, cause like Crash 2 and 3.
Enemies in the mirror, and you have to like judge where they are based off their patterns in there.
Yeah.
I'll follow them there and Dell.
Cause like in Crash 2 and 3, there's levels that like Ice in the future levels that do have the like mirrors and stuff like that, but they don't really do anything with them gameplay wise. So it's really cool to see like Vicarious Visions use that as a gameplay thing. I don't know. It's a really cool level. I love what they did with it.
Did you really have to snore that loud, Portia? I'm talking to the dog. She's like laying down next to me. She's snoring very loudly. I don't know what she's trying to accomplish, but it's the loudest thing she's ever had. It's the loudest thing she's ever done.
Yeah, but
I'm in Arendelle now.
you guys got anything else to say about Future Tense, or you want to talk about Insane quickly, Scrappy?
Played Stormy Ascent. It sucks.
I
I didn't think that level was that hard.
I think it was hard,
It's hard,
but
but it's not that hard.
I think no, it is. For Crash veterans, it's a welcome challenge.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Veteran can go screw itself.
Wow!
I personally really enjoyed it because it's a nice like platforming challenge, and nothing feels
Veterans, it's a good challenge.
and nothing feels unfair to me. It feels like a good challenge that doesn't have like bullcrap design. Like I don't
Ironically
know.
enough, I think the bonus room gave me more shit than some of the sections.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing that
Room.
I think
The only part that sucked for me were the ending, the last bit, and the bonus room.
yeah, the thing of the bonus room is that it's more of a puzzle where like it takes a bit to figure out, but once you do, it's not that bad, but it's mainly the puzzle aspect, really.
Wait, this is the first time I'm entering a world in Kingdom Hearts 3 without an enemy encounter.
Alright, if you guys got any, you gonna end it here, or do you guys got anything else?
I got nothing else.
I just have one thing to say. Goku Black sucks. Okay, I'm not there.
Alright,
Go to the high heavens. He's a bitch.
Yep, I was right.
right, well,
How dare you insult the mightiest of forms?
alright, well, we'll see you guys in, like, part 2 of this, because I'm looking at my list right now, and I didn't even get through, like, half of mine, so...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh fuck.
Harry,
We're dead,
take
man.
a nap.
Oh god.
Oh, boy.
Mm.
Alright, Don got a new armor slot. I can put something on him.
But yeah, I'm gonna stop the stream, so thanks for watching, and, yeah, see you guys later.
Doo-doo.